up, everyone? What's up, PlayStation Nation? You are now tuned in to the What's Up PlayStation podcast.
What's up? What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is? PlayStation. What's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is? PlayStation. What's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
They don't need no introduction. You already know what you getting, and that is facts with a discussion. The greatest to bless the mic without the needless interruption. Face it, we got an anatomy like a little bite of me for a concussion. You know what's up, man. I mean it when I seen it. I was proud of these brothers. They entertain the people every week without cussing, and you don't ever hear the drama. They keep it clean on the podcast. Independent duo doing it big when they broadcast. Haters hate to see them doing positive things. PlayStation Nation got you, ain't it obvious, man? We pulling up every week and showing love in the chat. Unlike these other channels, these guys are showing their back. Like, what's up?
What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is? PlayStation. What's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is? PlayStation. What's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
They don't need no introduction. Persona, the gaming politician, politicking for the come up. Division and vision require precision, decision that gotta be thought of. The potential is exponential. Gaming credentials is what they brought us. Get caught up. You know, Bari bring the passion when he's speaking from the heart. He the best lisp on YouTube, climbing up the charts. And when Persona speaks, he gon' tear the mic apart. Intellectually, of course, cause you know the boy's smart. They cover the news with integrity, so you know it's a must watch. Ain't no console war, just two brothers being a font. What's up, PlayStation? Got the Saturdays locked. And if you ain't tuning in, you missing out. Get blocked.
What's up? What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is? PlayStation. What's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is? PlayStation. What's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
Yo, listen, man. I really do appreciate everyone that always comes through to rock out with me and Bari, man, on What's Up PlayStation podcast. A podcast by fans for the fans, or by the community for the community, I should say. Listen, man. For me, man, I'm gaming with Persona. If you enjoyed listening, definitely subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm a PlayStation fan too.
Yo, what's up, everyone? What's up, PlayStation Nation? You are now tuned in to the What's Up PlayStation podcast.
What's up? What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is? PlayStation. What's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is? PlayStation. What's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
They don't need no introduction. You already know what you getting, and that is facts with a discussion. The greatest to bless the mic without the needless interruption. Face it, we got an anatomy like a little bite of me for a concussion. You know what's up, man. I mean it when I seen it. I was proud of these brothers. They entertain the people every week without cussing, and you don't ever hear the drama. They keep it clean on the podcast. Independent duo doing it big when they broadcast. Haters hate to see them doing positive things. PlayStation Nation got you, ain't it obvious, man? We pulling up every week and showing love in the chat. Unlike these other channels, these guys are showing their back. Like, what's up?
What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is? PlayStation. What's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is? PlayStation. What's up? Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
They don't need no introduction. Persona, the gaming politician, politicking for the come up. Division and vision require precision, decision that gotta be thought of. The potential is exponential, gaming credentials is what they brought us. Get caught up. You know, Bari bring the passion when he's speaking from the heart. He the best lisp on YouTube, climbing up the charts. And when Persona speaks, he gon' tear the mic apart. Intellectually, of course, cause you know the boy's smart. They cover the news with integrity, so you know it's a must watch. Ain't no console war, just two brothers being a font. What's up, PlayStation? Got the Saturdays locked. And if you ain't tuning in, you missing out. Get blocked.
What's up? What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is? PlayStation, what's up? J Bari and Persona got it locked in the tug. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is? PlayStation, what's up? J Bari and Persona got it locked in the tug. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
Yo, listen, man. I really do appreciate everyone that always comes through to rock out with me and Bari, man, on What's Up PlayStation podcast, a podcast by fans for the fans, or by the community for the community, I should say. Listen, man. For me, man, I'm gaming with Persona. If you enjoyed listening, definitely subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm a PlayStation fan too.
Yo, what's up, everyone? What's up, PlayStation Nation? You are now tuned in to the What's Up PlayStation podcast.
What's up? What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is? PlayStation, what's up? J Bari and Persona got it locked in the tug. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is? PlayStation, what's up? J Bari and Persona got it locked in the tug. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
They don't need no introductions. You already know what you getting, and that is facts with a discussion. The greatest to bless the mic without the needless interruption. Face it, we got an anatomy like a little bite of me for a concussion. You know what's up, man. I mean it when I seen it. I was proud of these brothers. They entertain the people every week without cussing, and you don't ever hear the drama. They keep it clean on the podcast. Independent duo doing it big when they broadcast. Haters hate to see them doing positive things. PlayStation Nation got you, ain't it obvious, man? We pulling up every week and showing love in the chat. Unlike these other channels, these guys are showing their back like, what's up?
What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is? PlayStation, what's up? J Bari and Persona got it locked in the tug. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is? PlayStation, what's up? J Bari and Persona got it locked in the tug. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
They don't need no introduction. Persona, the gaming politician, politicking for the come up. Division and vision require precision, decision that gotta be thought of. The potential is exponential, gaming credentials is what they brought us. Get caught up. You know, Bari bring the passion when he's speaking from the heart. He the best lisp on YouTube, climbing up the charts. And when Persona speaks, he gon' tear the mic apart. Intellectually, of course, cause you know the boy's smart. They cover the news with integrity, so you know it's a must watch. Ain't no console war, just two brothers being a font. What's up, PlayStation? Got the Saturdays locked. And if you ain't tuning in, you missing out. Get blocked.
What's up? What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is? PlayStation, what's up? J Bari and Persona got it locked in the tug. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is? PlayStation, what's up? J Bari and Persona got it locked in the tug. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
Yo, listen, man. I really do appreciate everyone that always comes through to rock out with me and Bari, man, on What's Up PlayStation podcast, a podcast by fans for the fans, or by the community for the community, I should say. Listen, man. For me, man, I'm gaming with Persona. If you enjoyed listening, definitely subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm a PlayStation fan too.
Yo, what's up, everyone? What's up, PlayStation Nation? You are now tuned in to the What's Up PlayStation podcast.
What's up? What it is? What it do? What's up? What it is? PlayStation, what's up? Jay Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is, what it do, what's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Jay Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
They don't need no introductions. You already know what you getting, and that is facts with a discussion. The greatest to bless the mic without the needless interruptions. Face it, we got an anatomy like a little bite of me for a concussion. You know what's up, man. I mean it when I seen it, I was proud of these brothers. They entertain the people every week without cussing. And you don't ever hear the drama, they keep it clean on the podcast. Independent duo doing it big when they broadcast. Haters need to see them doing positive things. PlayStation Nation got you, ain't it obvious, man? We pulling up every week and showing love in the chat. Unlike these other channels, these guys are showing their bag like, what's up?
What it is, what it do, what's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Jay Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up. What it is, what it do, what's up? What it is, PlayStation, what's up? Jay Bari and Persona got it locked in the tub. Saturday mornings, y'all know what's up.
They don't need no introduction. Persona, the gaming politician, politicking for the come up. Division and vision require precision, decision that gotta be thought of. The potential is exponential. Gamer credentials is what they brought us. Get caught up.
Yo, what is good, YouTube? What's up, PlayStation Nation? Welcome to another episode of the What's Up PlayStation podcast, episode 198 to be exact. We are officially in the final countdown, officially. Also, in this episode, we're going to be having a special guest as well. HipHopGamer is coming through to bless us with his presence on What's Up PlayStation. You know what I mean? We met up with hip hop in PAX. It was like, yo, I gotta come on before y'all, head out, you know what I mean? So got hip hop on here. We're also gonna be talking about feature episodes as well, as far as like how you can participate. We're gonna have a guest on next week episode as well, before we close out. And things like that. But I see the beautiful PlayStation Nation in the chat. Beautiful people in the chat. What is good, y'all? Hopefully everybody's having a wonderful morning. It's looking a little cloudy out there, cloudy with a chance of meatballs. But hopefully this podcast can brighten up your day. Yo, Persona, what's good, man? See my man Persona in the bottom right there. What's good, Persona, man? Introduce yourself. Let me try to get hip hop in here. Make sure that he's in here.
Yes, sir. Yo, listen, what's good, people, man? Your boy Persona, Game War Persona, one half of the What's Up PlayStation podcast crew. Big shout out to y'all, man. Everybody coming through. Shout out to the WUPS Nation, WUPS community, people finding our channel for the first time. And if you are finding our channel for the first time, hopefully by the end of the show, we earn your like and your subscribe. Yeah, man, it's good to be here, man. 2 episodes left, until we hit the old dusty trail. You feel me? So, it's going to be, a good time, a celebration. And on top of getting a guest for next week's show, episode 199, I'm not actually going to try. I can't make any promises, but I'm going to try to see if I can get Danielle Basutti and Charlene or if I could get both, that'd be cool. But I'm going to reach out to them and see if they want to pull up for episode 200 real quick, not the whole show, stop by, just, chat for a little bit. So I'm going to reach out to them and see what they say.
Yeah, you should. It'll be wonderful.
Those were big guests that graced our podcast, and definitely would love to have the final episode be something like that with them coming through as well. So we'll see. I can't make promises, guys, but I'll reach out to them and see what they say. But yeah, man, it's a good time. Shout out to everybody here, man. Appreciate y'all coming through, rocking out. Decium, Nerdy Gaming in the building. Jenna, Wolf, Sumo, Eversley, Will, Leach. Shout out to everybody here, man. Everybody that's coming through or watch this later, man. Big shout out to y'all.
Yeah, I'm hearing good things about the altars, Sumo, man. So, it's dope that the game is
You know what I mean? You enjoying that. Yo, what's good, Wolf, man? What's good, DC? Shout out to DC in the building.
DC, man. Shout out to DC, man. Chopping up with him yesterday, man. Big shout out to DC. And I ain't talked to DC in a minute either, so it was good to chop it up with DC and whatnot yesterday. Mutt, what's good, Mutt? Appreciate you, bro.
Mutt Wagwan. Yo, we got hip hop in here. So we're gonna pull him in.
Yes, sir.
Yo, hip hop, what's good,
what's going on, son? You already know what it is. B, what up? Can you see me, son?
Nah, we can't see you.
Nah, that's a picture.
It's just a picture.
Yeah.
Oh, what about now, son? We
good?
good?
There you go.
Let's go, baby. You already know what it is, so we up. Let's get it.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it. Persona J Bari, what up, baby?
That's good. What's good?
Yeah, we in here, man. We chilling, man. Just gotta flip everybody over real quick.
All right.
Well, I'm not hip hop. I'm I'm Persona.
we play musical chairs real quick, man.
Yo, real talk. Yo, hip hop is definitely a New Yorker because he always comes with that New York energy. You feel me? That New York energy always is on 10, which I love, man. So shout out to you, hip hop, man, coming through, rocking out. You feel me for the final couple of episodes of WUPS, man. You know, but
you know I had to come through. You know I had to come through and show support to my brothers, man. This is crazy.
Yes, sir. But go ahead and introduce yourself to the people, man. Let them know who you are.
Yo, what's up? You rocking with the GOAT of the game, HipHopGamer, Hot 97. The best is right here. You already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? WUPS Nation. What's up, PlayStation? Love y'all. God bless. It's about to be the hottest joint right now. Tune in, lock it on. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. It's good to be here, man. Good to have you, man.
Yo, man, it was definitely a pleasure, meeting you in PAX. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, that's hip hop right there, man. You know what I mean? Yo, like your persona tells no lies. Like that New York aura, you already know the vibe. Like, you know what I mean? Like we gonna show out.
It was by chance too, because like I was just like walking. Remember, Bar, you had went back to the room because you was tired, and I was just walking through PAX, and like I just looked, and I was like, I see the chain. I was like, yo, that's hip hop. And he see me, and we kind of just like, oh, yo, what's up? You know, and it became like good vibes and whatnot, man. And it was good, you know, me and him meeting his nephew. That was your nephew, right?
Yeah. That's my nephew. You know what I'm saying? We got our pictures done on the PNY RTX 5080, I think. You know what I'm saying? The Doom joint. But yo, I was hyped, son. As soon as I saw, I was like, yo, wait. That's my dude Persona? Oh, it's up. You know what I'm saying? So it was just always great. You know, it was great to see you. You know what I'm saying? And then the next day, you know, I got a chance to catch up with you and Jay Bari, and I was like, yo, this is fire. You know what I'm saying? Because these moments is priceless moments. And I'm the kind of person where I don't care who you are. I don't care if you got 1 follower or 1 million followers or whatever. Like, you're a human being. I love you, and I'll make sure anybody that's around me, you gonna feel like you're a superstar, son. You know what I'm saying? So it was just an honor to see y'all, dog.
Yeah. Real talk, yo. Like that's one thing about hip hop. The energy that you see, like in his videos, on his streams, and what he does, like that's him in person. Like that's not an act. You feel me? Like that's who he is. That's just an embodiment of his personality. Very welcoming, very open. He could definitely make you feel very welcome, you know, anybody. So definitely appreciate, you know, hip hop always bringing that authenticity. Especially with that New York side of things, you feel me? But how are you this week, man? How's everything going for you this week?
Well, you said me or you said Bari?
For you. That's no what we do. We
bro,
do how we do anything.
Yo, everything crazy, son. So first of all, Summer Games Fest was the best Summer Games Fest they ever did, son. The quality of games across the board is ridiculous, dog. So that was fire. Then I got a chance to hang. I was courtside at the WNBA game with, you know, Los Angeles Spark. Shout out to, you know, some of my peoples from Xbox, my homegirl Asia, you know what I'm saying, holding it down. So we had that set up. That was phenomenal. Even got a chance to meet up with comedian Leslie Jones. So that was dope. Got a chance to kick it with her a bit. Then also another thing that's crazy is I'm getting prepared for my John Cena and Idris Elba situation. I'll just say it like that. Y'all gonna see it soon. But I got a crazy situation that's about to come up with them. So gearing up for that. Very excited about that. My show aired today, you know what I'm saying, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Saturdays on Hot 97. So I had my man Wall Street Trapper on the show today. So we talking about a lot of good business and things of that nature. And yeah, man, like so many things, bro. I'm just very excited. Like and also I just found out that I'm gonna be the recipient for the second time ever of the Jerry Lawson Award and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So that right there is crazy because that's the source right there. We wouldn't have an industry if it wasn't for him. So that means a lot to me. You know what I mean? So yeah, we up, bro.
Yeah, that's what's up. A busy week, man. Definitely a lot of goodness from Summer Game Fest. Let me ask you, like, in terms of like your experience there, what would you say was like the number one standout experience for you at Summer Game Fest this year? Like, what stood out to you as like top of the list?
Yo, so I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna break it down like this. In terms of the most graphical like game that I saw, that was like by far the illest joint that I saw was Ill. Like that game Ill from Monfish.
Yeah.
That's the most realistic game coming out of some Gamers Fest, like Summer Games Fest. That right there is crazy. Now, the most technical game in terms of I could do whatever I want to do. Like in this game. Like this game got stuff that I didn't even know you could do in it. Like everything is crazy. Crimson Desert. Like, dog, you could do the RKO, son. You could do the RKO in Crimson Desert, B. That joint crazy, son. All the stuff you could do, unbelievable. I could shoot cannons and hit certain angles to make it break away. Nah, ain't nobody that game different, son. So that's two.
Let me ask you a question about Crimson Desert. Was the demo that you played at Summer Game Fest different from the one at PAX, or was it the same?
Yeah, it was different. It was way better. Way better. The game is turning out to be ridiculous, son. It's way better than the PAX joint. Way better. Like crazy. So they definitely upped it. Then another game that really shut it down was Resident Evil 9.
Oh yeah.
Bro, they gave us a demo of all demos, bro. It was like PT on steroids, bro.
Wow.
Resident Evil 9, first person or third person, whatever. But the way they presented it, nah, this joint is different, son. It's different.
How did the third person look? Was it good?
It was fire because you could tell it was made with third person in mind. It wasn't like an add-on, like, you know what I'm saying? It was made with third person in mind. So that joint is crazy. Third person or first person. Either way, you're going to have to watch cartoons before you go to sleep. Like, either way, you got to watch cartoons, son. Facts, son. Darkwing Duck it. You know what I'm saying? Something like that, son. Yeah. Crazy. So then another joint, like the best experience, though, I ain't going to even hold you, was the Xbox Watch Party, bro. Like, it was just amazing. It was such a priceless moment, but it was just amazing to have Jason Ronald, the architect of the Xbox Series X and S, and my brother Aaron Greenberg, the head marketing person for Xbox, hanging out with us, just hanging out, chilling. It's all of us, me, Paris, Godfrey, Rihanna, Iron Lords, like, on point for gamers, like, Lemon, 108 Dragons, like, it's so many people I go down the list, you know what I'm saying? That was there, and we all just kicking it, chilling, watching the Xbox showcase. And in that moment, it was literally you just hanging out with the fellas and y'all just chilling at the crib, watching it. Like, you know what I mean? It was unbelievable. I think that was the best highlight because it reminded everybody of the why. You know what I'm saying? It reminded everybody of that feeling, you know what I'm saying? Think about it, back in the 90s or something like that era where somebody go to your house, 007, you know what I'm saying? Golden Eye with the gold guns, like all these moments that certain people will never experience because they didn't live in that time that we did. That's what it brought us back to in that moment. So yeah.
I gotta ask. Yeah.
Yep. Yo, hold on. They saying that. Yo, my bad. They saying they can't hear you, Bari.
Oh yeah, you're muted. You're not muted. I hear you talking, but they might not hear you talking on the stream.
Yeah, but they might not hear you. Yeah.
My fault, guy. We build it as we fly. You heard?
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? I have to ask this question, just because I'm curious to kind of see what the what like from what you're seeing with like the industry and certain people that watch the Xbox showcase. I thought the Xbox showcase was cool. But that one more thing being Call of Duty Black Ops 7, right? I didn't feel like that was the proper thing to kind of end the showcase on, but like how you feel and like what was kind of the emotion in the room seeing that Black Ops 7 reveal as like the one more thing as opposed to maybe like a Fable or something else. Like what was your what was that thought process?
Can they hear me now, or do I sound like my bad, Persona? Because we're on a different overlay. So let me know if y'all can hear me now. If I sound different or whatnot, just let me know, and I'll try to adjust it. But go ahead, hip hop. My bad.
Got you. That's all good, son. Yo, they said you back. They hear you now, son. So we lit. So I'm gonna tell you right now, right? When they first was showing the trailer, nobody thought it was Call of Duty.
Yeah,
I think that right there is why people are excited about it. Because when you saw it, you didn't know you were seeing it. That's a great thing considering this is something that comes out every year. And from the look of it, it always you always know it when you see it. So the fact that you didn't know it when you saw it lets you know that they're doing something different or appears to be doing something different. So that's the first thing. That's a good thing. So people were saying, is this Quantum Break 2?
I thought that,
like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, yo, is this Quantum Break 2? And then people was like, wait a minute, hold up. I saw a butterfly. Is this a new IP? Like, you know, like we all trying to figure this out. Like, yo, what's up? And then when you see like the world bending and all this other stuff, and I think they made a comment about Mason or something like that. You could hear him talking. And then when it was revealed that it was Call of Duty Black Ops 7, at first it was more like, oh, not like, oh yeah, I can't wait. It was more like, oh, I didn't expect that to be your closer.
Yeah.
But then after that, it was like, wait a minute, Black Ops 7, we just had Black Ops 6. So the thing is, what order are we going in? Because normally you got, you know, Infinity Ward stuff, and then Sledgehammer, and then what's the name? Wait, who else? Treyarch. So now you got this back-to-back Black Ops joint, and it looked crazy different. Like, is this, and the way they revealed it, and the way they're treating this, it's like maybe this is the moment in time we see Call of Duty in a completely different light, and they're doing different things that we possibly never seen before. So this could be a step in the right direction. So that's the energy in the room. People were still excited because they didn't know that was it. But once it got revealed, it was still excitement. But then at the same time, they were still reserved because that Call of Duty name could be a hit or miss depending on the year.
Yeah, once I saw all the TVs, I was like, oh, they're doing another Black Ops. Then I was like, oh yeah, that was the rumor. And then they're showing all the robots and what. I'm like, oh, they going in the future. This is going to be like 20 years ahead of I think Black Ops 6. So, you know what I mean? That futuristic, I think jetpack is what the rumor was. Like jetpacks, you know, running the wall.
The wall running and all that. They're bringing a lot of that back. Yeah.
Which I don't mind.
So it's kind of like that
Black Ops 3.
Yeah, I think it's going back to that Infinite Warfare Call of Duty game.
Infinite Warfare, Black Ops 3, Advanced Warfare.
Yeah.
Listen, I personally felt like ending it on COD. As much as I'm a big COD fan, I just was like, I don't know if that's like one more thing type of deal. But I'm a major COD fan, so I definitely want to at least see what this is going to look like for sure. So
I felt like they should have opened up with COD rather than closing it with COD. But I mean, Call of Duty is a big money get, so I understand why they did it.
Yep.
Yeah. So for me, like, I understand where you're coming from in terms of opening up with it, because you know you're gonna get one every year. So for you to treat it like that, and we already knew something was coming, for you to do it that way, either y'all got something so crazy in store that it deserves that drop right there, which I believe that's what the case is. Because if you notice, when they first showed it, it said in engine or like in game or something like that. So which tells me that from a technology standpoint on the back end, I don't think we're going to see the same Call of Duty that we've seen many years like in a row. I think we're going to see a difference in terms of yeah, I think there's going to be a big upgrade in terms of the way Call of Duty is developed. And I think that's
my
going to be
only
changed.
thing about that is this is still releasing on PS4 and Xbox One. So I'm like, that's also kind of worrying me a little bit where I'm like, okay, you know, it's releasing on here. But again, we'll see. You know, I'm a bit, and especially Treyarch. I love Treyarch so much. So I'm definitely going to be paying attention to this Call of Duty for sure. Very excited.
Got you. Well, you know what's interesting about that argument with like still, you know, working with older titles and stuff like that. So it's kind of like what I know we're going to get to it deeper, but it's kind of like what Sony was talking about with the multi-generational ecosystem and how they want to do that. So you got to think about it like this. You always want to serve an audience that's always hungry. If you have a hungry audience, you're going to want to serve them. So if you have such a big audience still on PS4, you serve them. You don't get rid of them, you serve them. Because the option to move to PS5 is there. But if they not moving as fast, then they must still be enjoying this particular plate. So don't rush people to finish their food. Let them keep eating if you're going to keep serving. So I look at it like that as well from the business standpoint. That's one. Now, two, if you look at the ecosystem of PC, even right now, you got minimum settings and you got maximum settings. I could play Black Myth Wukong, and that joint could look like a PS3 title, or it could look like a PS5 like title or a high-end PC title. However, I decide to do it based upon the settings that I play it at. So my thing is, there's still a way to do that even in the console-like world and still get the best of both worlds. So I think that particular argument about something's holding you back or whatever, I've learned a lot about game development, and that's not necessarily the case all the times.
Okay, that's fair enough. You know,
Yeah, we're definitely gonna retouch on that when we talk about the business segment. But before we get into everything, I just want to make a quick update, hip hop, because like I said, you know, we met up at PAX and you said, we got to come on. But just want to let everybody know, episode 200 will be our final episode. And with that being said, we have a post on here on our channel. If you go to the post here, where we're telling everybody what's up. If you would like to be a part of episode 200, or if you have any questions that you want us to, ask, you can ask answer. You can ask the question here in this post. But if you want to join in on the Discord, you can join in the Discord. And throughout the show, episode 200, we'll go into the Discord and pull you guys in one by one if you got any things you want to say or any things you want to ask and things like that. When it pertains to the show, What's Up PlayStation. So just for like a community event kind of thing for episode 200. If you want to participate, join in on Discord. When we get to that segment, join the waiting room and we'll pull you in one by one. Or if you just want to ask a question here, like I think 5 of y'all did right here, you can just ask a question right here and we'll answer them throughout the episode. You know what I mean? But yeah, hip hop man, once again, pleasure having you on here. We're going to start this show off. Shout out to Push Square. They normally put up the games for the week. But they haven't been updating that stuff in a long time. But we know FBC Firebreak came out this week, right? For PlayStation Plus. The Altars came out this week. You can play the Gears of War beta. Kinda. We're gonna talk about that Persona. As far as what I know that came out this week. So but if you guys know anything that came out, new games that came out this week, let us know in the chat and we'll definitely shout it out for sure. But Persona.
Yeah.
Let's get into the spotlight games for the week. Explain the spotlight games and you can start it off, or Hip Hop can start it off with a spotlight game.
Yeah, definitely spot us off. So we are in the spotlight portion of the show chat. And the spotlight is where we give you a game or games that you guys should check out, right? It could be a brand new game. It could be an old game. It could be a game for your childhood. It could be a game that hasn't even released yet. The purpose of the spotlight is for the spotlight games that we think the community should check out. So Hip Hop, what's your spotlight game for this week? And are you gonna break the rules? And breaking the rules is where if you list more than one. If you only list one, that's fine. But if you do list more than one, it's called breaking the rules. So what's your spotlight game for this week?
All right, so my question is, the spotlight game, does it have to be a game that's already out?
No,
or
it could be a game for your
any game.
childhood. It could
Yeah.
be a game that hasn't released. It could be anything. Not a game that's out.
Yo, dog, let me tell you right now, son. Shinobi is crazy. That new Shinobi, I played that joint crazy. So that's a spotlight game right there. You gotta get Shinobi. That joint is fire. Another game that's crazy, I'm breaking the rules. I'm breaking the rules. You kidding me? Y'all about to wrap up the show or something like that. I'm breaking all the rules, B. You kidding me? All right, so yo, I'm gonna tell you right now, son. Dying Light, the Beast, definitely a game you gotta play, son. Yo, real talk. I'm up here fighting one of the bosses, right? And the boss is ill. They pick up cars and throw it at you. They got other zombies that'll try to get at you. And then the boss would pick up a zombie and throw a zombie at you, son. It's that crazy. So, yo, I took a grenade and I went to throw it at the boss to blow him up, right? He picks up a car and throws the car. The car hits the grenade. The grenade runs and rolls back to me and blows me up, son.
Oh, wow. Crazy.
Exclusive. Yo, the physics, everything in that game is nuts, and you can run and drop kick everybody. I was kicking people off of balconies and their bodies ripping apart. Dying Like the Beast is definitely something you gotta check out. Then I'll give you one more spotlight joint. Now I gotta go with this game. I know a lot of people played it already, millions of people played it, but the reason why it's a spotlight because it's my favorite franchise of all time. You know what I'm saying? But God of War.
Yes, sir.
If for those that didn't play God of War yet, any God of War, I don't care. For those that didn't play that series yet or touch that series yet, God of War is my favorite franchise of all time. And I just always encourage people, like, if you didn't get into that yet, if you play God of War, you'll understand what gaming is all about at its highest development level, period. And that's it.
Sir.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
I agree with everything you said there. Like, yo, Dying Light is always a franchise that I enjoyed playing it with my friends. Yo, but the nighttime that jump be getting me spooked, bro. I ain't even gonna hold you.
I get
Dying crazy
for free too because I own the Ultimate Edition of Dying Light 2, so I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Oh wait, so Beast is an expansion or is that a different like game? Like, is it like a?
No, it's a brand new game.
Yeah, originally
it's the third game. Yeah.
Originally it was going to be an expansion, but it got so big, pause, that they were just like, it's just going to be the next game. So it's a full-fledged game. But if you own the Ultimate Edition of Dying Light 2, you get the Beast for free.
Oh damn! Okay.
Oh, that's fire.
That's what's up. I didn't even know that.
That's fire.
Yeah, so it's I'm gonna definitely check it out for sure because I like Dying Light as well. It's a cool franchise, so I definitely want to dive into that and see what's up. Bari, go ahead, give us your spotlights, bro. Are you gonna break the rules?
Did you give your spotlight?
Oh no, I give mine real quick. So my spotlight game for the week is Expedition 33. I'm working on that platinum. I love that game so much, man. I'm in Act 3. Man, this
game is incredible.
Absolutely going to be. This is absolutely a game of the year contender, like through and through.
Yeah,
this game
facts.
is phenomenal. I love this game. So Expedition 33 is the first one. Second game, Ghost of Yote. You know, I'm gonna keep spotlighting that. I can't wait for that July.
I can't wait.
That
July.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. So Ghost of Yote for sure. Yeah, July 19th. I can't wait for that. My third spotlight is, listen, it rekindled some old feelings, man. You know, sometimes you want that old thing back. You feel me? Uncharted 4 multiplayer. Listen, man.
Oh wow.
Uncharted multiplayer. I was supposed to be playing the Gears of War beta last night, but you know, I'll get into my impressions of that. But you know, for those who watched the stream last night, y'all know what it was. But I was like, you know what? For some reason, I was like, let's just get on Uncharted just to see, you know, what the service is like, and if we're able to find matches. Finding matches very quickly. That game is still very alive and well. And it just rekindled my love for, like, not just Naughty Dog, but Uncharted as a franchise, which is one of my favorite franchises. And that multiplayer is just so good, man.
Fast paced, so good shooting.
So good, yes. Cover to cover is good. Movement is good. The guns is good. It's just such a great game. I love Uncharted, and I love Uncharted multiplayer. So those are going to be my 3 spotlights for this week.
Okay, so that's a theme. We doing 3s. Okay, I got you. That's one of my favorite numbers. So you already know the vibe. Allen Iverson, let's go.
Allen Iverson, you already know what it is. The
Yes,
crossover,
sir.
baby.
Yes, sir.
Let's get it.
Goated. All right, first game. Well, it's 2 games in one collection. The Lunar Remastered Collection. Yo, I've been having a great time, revisiting both games. Well, the first one is my first time playing it. The second one I played but I never completed it. But now both games are done and completed and working on the platinum with the epilogue for the second game. And playing through the games, yo, I love the character development, the character dialogue, how the characters are built. The world is cool. The combat is cool. Combat is but it has some peak moments for me, especially for part 1. I think part 1 is a better game story-wise, character-wise, and just setup. But part 2 is still a great game. Don't get it twisted. There's a difficulty spike, especially with that final boss or the bosses in part 2 for sure. More AoE hits and all that stuff. But yo, damn well in part 1, I damn well got emotional at the ending. Part 2, Lucia, I like her, but she's annoying. But yo, definitely gonna play Lunar Remastered Collection. Wonderful old school games back in the day. Sega CD, PlayStation. It came on PlayStation as well. But yeah, I love the collection. Second game, Hip Hop already highlighted this, and we played it at PAX. Crimson Desert. Listen, this game is gonna be a game changer, man. It's gonna be a game. I promise you, everything that you're seeing in trailers or what they talk about, you can actually do in that game, bro. There's so many mechanics to that game. I feel like the first time you're playing that game, you're gonna be like
it's gonna be a major learning curve.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of information coming at you. You're gonna feel a little bit over like burdened or whatnot. But when you learn the mechanics and what's going on, because the first day, yeah, we beat the boss, but it was looking a little, looking a little shaky out there. But that second day coming back, once that mechanics got learned and how to do certain things, man, yo, everything was to start flowing. It's like a fighting game, how it flowed, yo. I was like, yo, this joint is fire, man. And that's not even the open world elements of the game. You know what I mean? The combat is crazy. Like, whatever you see, you can do. Yeah, you can run up and RKO somebody. You can run up and double kick somebody. You can do a whole bunch of stuff out here in Crimson Desert, man. And I'm very, very excited. I'm hoping it hits that 2025 holiday, because I promise you this is going to be a huge game. Definitely going to get that for sure. And then the final game, since we're doing the 3-3-3-3-3s, you already know the vibes, man. We saw this at the State of Play. My favorite announcement throughout this whole Summer Game Fest: Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. Listen, it's a hip hop. You already know.
All day.
Listen, man.
All day. The moment it drops, all day.
I'm just waiting for the character, because they say character announcements is coming as, they're gearing up for the development and gearing up for a release date next year. I just can't wait to see what characters they're implementing into this game. And one of those videos that's going to be coming, I know they're going to be doing like a combat system breakdown, and that breakdown for the characters and how they work. I can't wait for those videos, bro, because I'm going to be on this game heavy, man. This game, I every time I watch the trailer, I see something different. I'm like, oh shoot, there's some wave dash. I was watching my man IFC Yipes, and he pointed out, yo,
shout to Yipes.
You see Miss Marvel doing the back wave dash. I didn't even catch that. I was like, oh, that's a Marvel player, so they're gonna catch everything. I was like, oh, yo, she did, she back wave dash into assist, and I was like, oh, this game about to be nasty, boy. The mix ups, the pressure. I can't wait for this game, man. But yeah, I'm very excited to see who they're going to include within the roster, the base roster of this game, man. So very, very hype for Marvel Tokon fighting. So I'm just going to say Marvel Tokon, to be honest with you. The Fighting Souls, I just think that's what Tokon mean from what I understand. So I'm just going to say Marvel Tokon. But yeah, that's the 3 games that I'm highlighting. We just did a 3-3-3. Y'all let us know what games. Repeat. Y'all let us know what games y'all interested in, and in the comment section. Also, there's a Q&A up for the chat, so let us know your thoughts when it comes to the PlayStation business meeting, because right after we talk about this, we're going right into the news to talk about this business meeting. But Persona,
yeah,
you know the vibes.
Yes, sir.
Gears of War is so NY.
Yes, sir.
Now
Like
it's
the
on
voice to make
PlayStation.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? I have to wear the NYC hat. You know what I mean? Yo.
Yes, sir.
But
Sir.
I don't know if you played it as well, hip hop, but yo, let us know your thoughts on the Gears of War Reloaded beta. So this is a beta that you had to pre-order the game
Pre-order. Yeah.
to get into. But let us know your thoughts on the beta, man.
Yo, so first off, graphically, wow. Like this joint look crazy. Like I know it's a remaster type of thing, but they mastered this joint. Like that joint looked crazy out the gate. So that right there like stood out to me. I played it on PS5 Pro. Joint's crazy. Now, I ain't gonna even front though. The first time I tried to get on, I couldn't get no matches at all. I don't know what was going on, but the next day I was able to get on. Everything was fire, cool. And like this, so I'm not sure if y'all noticed this, but just to let the chat know as well, like I play single player experiences. When I play multi player games and stuff like that, like it's mainly fighting games. You know, I don't like the feeling of I done shot you 40 times in the face and you just hit me one time with a shotgun and next thing you know I'm crawling on the ground. Like I just got that feel, like, you know what I'm saying, where I wasn't having as much fun with it. You know, like I would have liked. You know what I'm saying? As soon as I get in a good combat, I'm dying here, and just things didn't make sense. But in terms of the feel, the graphics, the way it looks, everything is top notch. But I'm not sure if there's some more reworking that needs to be done. That's why it's a multiplayer beta. But it's going in the right direction. And I know a lot of the PlayStation fans is about to buy this up on that. Like, yo, they gonna do a couple of million on this one. Like Gears of War is about to be a hit.
It's number one on the PlayStation Store already.
Number one, number two.
Oh, it's number one already? All right, well then, yeah, it's gonna be a hit. It's gonna be a hit.
Yeah.
Facts.
So my experience with, you know, I've been playing Gears since the beginning. So like I'm a big Gears fan. I've always enjoyed Gears. It's been some years since I've played Gears. So like it definitely felt good to get back into the game when I could find a match. My only issue was, and obviously it's a beta, but we have to mention it anyway. And I was live streaming last night. I couldn't find any matches, like as much as I was trying to like restart and back out and try to get back in. I only was able to play maybe 2 or 3 matches. And with those 2 or 3 matches, it felt like Gears. You know, it felt very reminiscent of the old days of multiplayer, a very old school way of style of playing. You know, I definitely have to get back used to, you know, doing the cover to cover and getting in and out of gunfire and getting my aiming right with Gears, because Gears is a much heavier, like, you know, and it's funny because like Uncharted obviously is much more floaty and a little bit more fast paced, arcadey. Gears is definitely much more heavy, tactical. You know, you ain't about to be running and gunning like you would in like a Call of Duty or something like that. So with Gears, you definitely need to be much more methodical in your approach to how you play the game online, right? So for me, I loved it from what I played of it. I'm very excited to dive into this series on PlayStation. But I think the beta itself just needs a little bit reworking. I'm gonna check it out later today to see if, you know, they fix those issues. But it's Gears, you know, and I don't say that to be facetious or negative, but, you know, for those that have played Gears, you know what you're gonna get with this experience. It's Gears.
Yo, so
did they
say anything as far as like, okay, we know the servers were spotty. Are we going to extend the beta or anything like that? Because, you know, this is a paid. That's a
great point. I didn't see anything about them extending the beta. But I know they said that they are working on it to fix whatever issues it is that they're experiencing on the back end. But I didn't see anything about extending it. But that is a great point. But the beta also comes back the following weekend. So this isn't like a one and done thing.
So it's a double. Okay.
It's a double weekend. So this weekend and next weekend, those who pre-ordered the game on PlayStation will be able to play the beta.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, that's good. You got enough time because this comes out. The only reason why I'm not playing the beta, to be honest with you, and I'm not purchasing the game as of right now, it comes out the same week as Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta, Snake Eater, and Lost Soul Aside. And Metal Gear Solid 3 is one of my favorite games of all times in my top 5. So there's no way I'm going to be playing no like Gears of War. You know what I mean? During that week. But that week alone is crazy as far as like
Yeah, that's a crazy
games
week for gaming.
coming out.
Yeah, crazy week for gaming for sure.
Yes, sir.
I
But
definitely
I
think-
so that's the Gears Reloaded beta overall thoughts from Hip Hop and Persona. Let us know your thoughts in the comment. How are you getting into matches? You know what I mean? How do you like it on PlayStation? Is it a great fit? I'm pretty sure it is because y'all buying it up.
No, hold on. It feels great. It feels great
Yeah, it
on
does.
PlayStation, son. When you shooting in the chainsaw, that joint feel crazy, son.
Yeah,
on
almost
the
everything is good.
DualSense, kid. Facts. I ain't gonna hold you. That
Yes,
joint crazy.
it definitely is for sure. And playing on the DualSense Edge Pro controller, listen, seeing that boot up screen, it's still kind of like just jarring to me. Just to see
Different.
Gears like on PlayStation is just still like a very different thing to me. Where I'm just like I'm still getting used to it because like when you think of like Sea of Thieves or these other games, you don't really. But like tentpole titles like the Forzas, the Gears, the Halos, you just like hold up, like whoa, So, but yeah, it's cool. Check it out, support
It's
it.
different out here, man. But yo, shout out to y'all. Yo, appreciate the subscription, Raphael. Hopefully you enjoy your stay here. It's not going to be long, but hopefully you enjoy it. Well, yo, like I said, we here. We got the Go to Game HipHopGamer. And yeah, we about to get into the news, man. You know what I mean? It's a pleasure having you on here once again, Hip Hop, man, for sure, man. But we about to get into this PlayStation or Sony. Now we say PlayStation because it's pretty much Herman Hulst and Hideki Nishino business meeting. There's a lot of things to highlight here, or there's a lot of slides to go over. So we'll go over it. Just give your thoughts on what they're presenting here. And then there's a few little highlights that I just want to address or even just present to everyone here. But yeah, this is the gaming and network services segment where it's Hideki Nishino and Herman Holtz. We haven't heard from Herman Holtz in a long time. They also have like a video up as well. So if you guys want to check out that video, I'll definitely try to get the link to the video and put it in the chat so you guys can watch it later if you missed it. But this is just the presentation here, which they do pretty much all every year. All right, so here we go. Defining games for over 30 years. Yeah, 5 generations of PlayStation is here. And you see what they mixing up in here? Because I know a lot of people, myself included, we like to hearken upon, first party, but PlayStation is built up from a lot of third party deals as well. So they're highlighting that here for everyone here as far as all the games that came to PlayStation. But yo, 30 years of PlayStation Hip Hop, man. Crazy.
Man.
That's 30 years, bro.
That's 30 years, dog. That's just to hear that, yo, dog. That's crazy. But it's been an honor for every year I've been with PlayStation, son. Like that joint, I'll never forget getting my first ever PlayStation. It was so crazy is even though it was like an unfortunate situation on how I got my first PlayStation. But like, long story short, my father used to he was at the roller skating rink on Nostrand Ave in Brooklyn. And he was at the skating rink, and he broke his ankle skating.
Oh, damn.
So he got like a $25,000-$30,000 settlement or something like that. And when he got his money, I got my PlayStation.
Oh yeah.
Word up,
Everybody
son.
eating. Yeah.
Facts, son. Everybody was eating. Word.
Real talk, like the first year PlayStation came out in 95, I didn't get it. My mom ended up getting me a Super Nintendo that year. You know what I mean? So I had the Super Nintendo before because we was on Sega and Nintendo. So, and I was living through it. Everybody, oh, you ain't got no PlayStation. You know what I mean? I used to go to people's house to chill. But that 1996 hit, oh man, moms came through. Yo, Crash Bandicoot, all that Rayman, had some few games for my friends I was borrowing and all that stuff. Yeah, we was in there, man. And that Super Nintendo, I ain't gonna hold you. I love the Super Nintendo, but I rest that joint to the side for a little bit, man. So I got my PlayStation 96 instead of 95. But Never look back after that, man.
Facts. PlayStation for life, son. Like, yo, there's so many, you know what's so funny? There's so many games I can remember. So like my cousin, he brought the PlayStation, like before I had one, he brought the PlayStation to the house. And you know, at this time, I'm more focused on, you know, what Sega Saturn is gonna be and you know, all this other stuff, right? And I was like, PlayStation, all right, let's check this out. And when I played Tekken 1 for the first time on PlayStation, I was like, yo, this is different. When I ran up, like, Lord, when I ran up the body and landed on him, I was like, it's over. Then I seen it in arcades, I was losing my mind. But PlayStation 1, the underground disc, they had this game called Loaded. They had, I think, Mortal Kombat.
Remember
3.
Loaded? Loaded and Reloaded. Captain Hand. Yo, that was my dude, bruh.
Yeah, all of that. So I remember all these games, playing all this other stuff. I remember forget like not NBA Live or nothing, but they had a game called NBA In the Zone.
Oh yeah, In the Zone.
And I was playing that. Yo, I was going crazy. So my thing is to see 30 years of PlayStation, and PlayStation was born because of Nintendo trying to be like sneaky and you know, and stuff like that. It's crazy to see how far PlayStation has come. And all I can tell you is, put it like this, everybody that's in the chat right now, if you look right here, you see it says AMD, right? You know, those are partners of mine. I'm gonna tell you like this. We experienced 30 years of PlayStation, but the next generation of PlayStation and what I've already had some experience with already that's coming in the next 2 years. Yeah, I got a video that I'm working on that I'm going to put out, but I'm going to tell you like this. You know how we always talk about history repeating itself? PlayStation is about to have history repeat itself for their brand in a way that you've never seen in the history of video games. That's my statement on What's Up PlayStation. Watch.
Oh man.
Watch.
Hey yo,
Watch.
that's crazy. That is crazy. I definitely can't wait to see what that next generation of PlayStation's looking like. But yeah, 30 years of PlayStation is definitely a good vibe. A lot of great memories with PlayStation, and just to see like where they started to where they're at and where they will be going in the future. It's definitely gonna be a good vibe. You know, there's still certain things I'm very critical of PlayStation. But looking through like this business meeting PDF, you know, certain things I like, certain things I'm kind of like, okay, you know, definitely want to see more of that. And then there's other things where I'm just like, all right, you know, I know we're gonna get into it, but I don't want to get ahead. I know you fix cameras, but yeah, it's definitely some things that I see with PlayStation where I'm just like, okay, I like what I'm hearing here.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of things I'm liking what I'm hearing, but we're gonna roll through it. But yo, hip hop, I needs that. You know what I mean? I needs that for sure. But here's one thing that we're gonna talk about: most profitable generation to date. Yo,
Crazy.
This is crazy, man.
Yeah.
The sales part is impressive, but I'm not going to even, focus on that. The operating income, that's where I'm gonna focus on. 'Cause that's where the actual profit is. You know what I mean? And just looking at the disparity between the PlayStation 3 and then the 4 to come up from that, then now to the 5, and the 5 ain't even done yet. That's kind of wild, bro.
Yo, and they were in the negative with the PS3. You see
That's
that?
what I'm saying, yo. That's kind of
God.
crazy. Like PlayStation, like people, I hear a lot of people saying stuff like, "Oh, PlayStation 5 is done, and PlayStation 5 is not a good generation. It's a horrible generation." But yo, they are making buku bucks. The games came out. The PlayStation 5 to me had one of the best launch generations. This year, last year, they kind of told you that, hey, we're not going to have the first party stuff like that, even though Astrobot and all those other games came out, Helldivers as well. This year, kind of slow start, but we're gonna pick it up this month and then later on. But and then you have a roadmap as far as the upcoming games to hit from Naughty Dog, Insomniac, and more. You know what I mean? So listen, as I have my thoughts, but I can't debate this right here. You know what I mean? 13 billion.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you right off the bat, son. Like, you gotta understand the difference between like what somebody may feel and the fandom of a generation versus the reality in the business and what's important for the growth of the brand at the end of the day. There's a difference. So, in this generation, the average person could be like, well, we wanted more games, or we want more of this, or we more of that, or Concord messed up and blah, blah, blah. They not doing this. Okay. But what are the results telling you? Like, let's be completely clear. What does the results tell you? It tells you that PlayStation obviously knows something that you don't. So PlayStation and a lot of these companies, period, they don't do a lot of guesswork. Every move that they make, for the most part, because nobody's perfect, but for the most part, is very calculated. So they're not going to invest in anything that they don't have as the highest potential percentage of guaranteed success on. So now that I said that, let's talk about this 13 billion. Let's talk about this PS5 generation and why it got to where it got to. So the nature of the game industry as a whole, as a business, has changed. Why? Because one, you got more people gaming. Two, the barrier of entry is easier because of services and subscriptions. That's two. And three, advertising is, I think, the number one or the number two revenue drivers in the entire gaming industry. So it's no longer solely about just sales. But when you see the infographics released with the data of how long, how many hours people are playing games for and stuff like that, companies like Procter and Gamble, State Farm and stuff like that, non-endemic brands are dropping the most bread in the gaming industry. How do I know this? I do this. I am this. Why do y'all think I get so much information on things that people be looking at me like I'm crazy, but when it comes to fruition, they be like, how you know that? Because I'm a part of that.
And they don't want to cite you when it comes true.
And they don't want to cite me when it comes true. You know how I go. So my thing is, let me give y'all like just a slight backstory. So in the movie industry, in the TV and film industry and stuff like that, right? They was trying to find new ways to grow their industry, and gaming was the target. If you notice, ever since 2009, I've been having movie stars and all these types of people on my show, and red carpets and all that other stuff. Kevin Hart's and everybody coming on the show, everything like that, since 2009. Okay? So I've been involved since then on the business level in a different way and where everything was headed. That's one. Two, if you Google it right now, everybody that's in the chat, if you Google like advertising revenue in the gaming industry and these non-endemic brands that's getting involved and stuff like that, that is the driver because of our interactivity with playing these games. To prove my point, why you think New Game Plus is so prevalent now? Why you think games are focused on accessibility options and difficulty settings now? You see, Lies of P just came out with a difficulty setting, and that's a Souls-like game. You see Alan Wake doing the same thing, Starfield doing the same thing, Seafood did the same thing. Why you think I always talk about Plitch? Why you think I always talk about Plitch? Because the more they can keep you playing the game, the more they can make you grind for things, the more they can do that, your time spent is bigger than the sale. That's why Xbox Game Pass is what it is. I may not get 3 million sales, but if I got 25 million people playing, the people is more valuable than the sale. A lot of times.
Yeah, because that's the ecosystem buying up and subscribing. Yeah.
Yeah, because time is payment. Your time is looked at as payment. When you look at a lot of these documents behind the scenes, when companies is paying for placements and doing all these other things and getting influencers, that all this marketing and stuff like that, all that stuff plays a role, bro. So when you see 13 billion and stuff like that, I'm gonna tell you right now, and this was told to me, that 13 billion would have been more if it wasn't for the pandemic. If it wasn't for the pandemic, that 13 billion right now would be way more.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy too? This is all equating for 2020 to 2024, and in 2024, PlayStation had their biggest flop ever. Which the rumors is how much that game is, like $400 million. So that's part of this, and they still profited. You know what I mean? So
what you want to do is, as a business, and what this when it says most profitable generation, what you have to look at is what's going on right now. One, games is going to be, so even though they cost a lot to make and stuff like that, what was a lot of the layoffs and jobs being cut and stuff like that, I'm just keeping the buck with you. The more fine-tuned AI and technology get, the less resources in terms of amount of people you're going to need. So that one thing right there plays a role in that. Because that's forecasting. That's forecasting budgets.
That's something that I have to disagree with, is because, when you look at the finances and you see all this money, the sales, 136 billion in sales, 13 billion in operating income, and then hearing that it could be even more, maybe even double that, right? And then you see, like, the layoffs and people losing their jobs and stuff like that in the development space, that stuff sucks, especially when you look at it where, like, AI, because I work in the tech space as well, AI is definitely something that it's very prevalent in corporate America. It's very prevalent in the tech sector. Like, that, it's definitely about to explode something crazy. But when it comes to, I think, creativity, especially something like gaming creativity, I wouldn't necessarily want the human element of that to be so far removed that what you start getting becomes robotic, or it becomes routine, so to speak, for lack of a better term, when it comes to the games that we get, where everything starts to look the same, run the same, feel the same, and you don't really get those unique ideas where, like, and I'll use Expedition 33 as an example. If AI built that, would we really have gotten a game like Expedition 33? If Ghost of Yote, Spider-Man, all these other different games. Now, I'm not saying AI can't be something that helps within that development process, right? Or speeds up and make things more efficient. But I think replacing the human element within the game development process, I think muddies up and creates more of an issue. And then I think as the consumer or gamer, we wouldn't necessarily reap the benefits as much as we may think we will, because you'll be able to speed up the development of games.
This is what I understand, because as what hip hop, I agree with both of you, because what hip hop is saying more from a business standpoint is that with AI being more prevalent, there's going to be positions that that's going to be, you're cutting the fat. You know what I mean? That's how you're going to get to that 13 billion, 15 billion, whatever billion. You know what I mean? Because you're managing AI rather than now managing another human being that you got to pay and resources and all that stuff, even though resources are going to AI. But yeah, when more AI is involved, the business looks more inhumane. Like, you don't worry about the human, feelings. Like, this person losing his job, or this person, has to struggle now to do what they got to do for a living. And I agree with you, Persona, when it comes to the AI aspect, because I did play a game that was AI made, and it was terrible. I'm talking about the worst voice acting. It was terrible, yo. I got hit. You know what I mean? Some anime game that I downloaded. I bought Hip Hop, my bad. You know what I mean? I said, let me try this game out. And yo, that joint was absolutely hot garbage. But I do understand from a business standpoint, I get what you're saying. Is that, yo, you're not gonna get to all of this here, especially the future years. You know what I mean? Adding these type of implementations in there, this is going to increase.
And no, I think what hip hop's saying it's true. Companies are trying to maximize profits, and AI definitely speeds up their ability to do that. I'm not even going to argue that point, because he is right. But I think AI is something that I think all of us should look at it and be like, okay, it could be something that can help you, but replacing you, I just don't. I personally don't agree with that, and I work and I don't agree with AI being something that is there to replace somebody.
Now, so what I'm gonna say is, like to your point, I never said replace.
No.
I
I'm
say I never used that word replace.
That's something typically that comes up whenever we talk about AI. That's what a lot of people's thought process goes to because of what we're seeing within like tech news and, you know, what Microsoft is doing with Copilot, what Meta is doing with investing billions into generative AI and all these different things, which is why I mentioned that. But go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, I never said replace. What I'm saying is those that know how to use it the best will not be replaced in terms of job because you still need to have the human element. That's facts. But to your point, looking at Claire Obscura Expedition 33, the reason why that game is look like that and is able to perform like that with such a small team is because of all the resources that's been put into Unreal Engine, especially 5.6, and a lot of that stuff is AI driven now at the engine level. And what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of companies that wouldn't be able to do what they're doing, wouldn't be able to exist because they don't got the capital to be able to compete at that level. But because of the strides that has been made in game development through the use of AI and cloud and all these other things, we don't get what we got if it wasn't for that. So what I'm saying is, and what I want people to pay attention to, going back to the 13 billion, one of the sole reasons why PlayStation this generation is that much bigger is because they always focus on one main thing, and that's mind share. So when you are dominant in reality and in perception, you get the marriage of being number one in reality and perception. You ever seen a situation where the perception is that this person is bigger than that person, but in reality, when it comes down to it, this person is actually driving more stuff than the other person. But the perception, like I'll give you an example. The perception is that Microsoft as a gaming company is bigger than Sony as a gaming company because the perception is this is Microsoft, this is Xbox, they're the biggest in the world. But in reality, from a gaming company standpoint only, Sony is bigger than Microsoft. From a gaming standpoint only. But as an overall, if you just bringing everything together, you know, obviously Microsoft is bigger.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
But in the gaming space, perception versus reality, there's a difference. So what I'm trying to say is Sony was able to take the perception and the reality and make it true with the mind share of their brand PlayStation. So now it's a situation where I don't care if this costs $80 and I can spend like $100 a year and get all these games on Xbox Game Pass. I love PlayStation. You know what that reminds you of? Apple. Apple could do anything. I don't care. It's Apple. But you know what that reminds you of? Bethesda. Like my man Todd Howard says, it just works, even if it didn't.
Whimsical
But it
bugs.
doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter.
Bugs and all that, yeah.
Exactly. Fallout, buggy. It don't matter. It's Fallout. I love it. It's Bethesda. They can do no wrong. Perception. So when you're able to have marketability that wins mind share, then you have people that's going to fight for you and defend you, which puts you in a position where you can do no wrong. But now your perception and your reality is true. Ain't nobody touching PlayStation.
Oh yeah, big facts, man. Hip hop dropping the facts out here. But like to move it along, PlayStation has a theme as far as this business meeting, console and beyond. And they're gonna be explaining what they mean by that. As you can see what they're holding out here or what they're showing, you kind of see what they're saying here. But when you see the console and beyond, before we go along and actually explain what it is, what are you interpreting from this, or what do you get from what it's saying here, console and beyond?
Yeah, so for console and beyond, I kind of see that as them looking at not just the console, but also as other driving factors like TV, movies, other things that not necessarily that are aligned with the console in terms of the IPs and expanded the IP range of a lot of their games. That's what I see that as, and also PC.
you did that one. You say that one for last.
Yeah.
You
I
ain't
mean, we
slick.
got to be honest. Man. PC is definitely ingrained into PlayStation strategy for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah, nah, facts. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead, Hip-Hop, go ahead.
So yeah, like everything that Persona talk about, facts. In terms of console and beyond, there's something else that I want to add to that. So you see how PlayStation owns Evo, right? And you see how they came with a arcade fighting stick, right? And you see how they got to work with Arc Systems, and now Marvel is the new Marvel game is coming, right? So one of the things about the Beyond on play, and I'll tell you this: you see how they made a lot of investments in Unreal Engine, right? And you see how Unreal Engine utilizes PlayStation as the definitive platform to showcase everything, right? And you see how Unreal Engine powers over 50% of the entire gaming industry when it comes to development, right?
Oh yeah, Unreal.
So, yeah. So what I'm trying to tell you is when you see console and beyond, it's not just from a standpoint of content that's being made. So Microsoft has a monopoly when it comes to the software world. When it comes to Windows and stuff like that, they dominate everywhere. They have a monopoly on it. So PlayStation is working on their monopoly. So when they say console and beyond, PlayStation is looking to position themselves across every area of entertainment as the defining platform to publish on. So what's happening now is Microsoft is going to be your service. PlayStation is going to be your platform. And even though PlayStation has services and Microsoft has a platform, when it comes to how you know these companies and the definitive operating platform that they're going to grow with to increase their bottom line, Xbox is going to become more software driven. PlayStation is going to be more platform driven. So they need each other. Remember the deal that they signed together?
Memorandum.
A couple of years ago, when they were talking about the use of Azure and all these other things, and they have a strategic alignment. What I'm trying to tell you now is Microsoft and Sony is going to become more one and the same. And that leaves Nintendo to make a decision. Now, there's a video that I made. I made this, I think, last year or 2 years ago, where I talked about PlayStation 6 being the official AI console, and y'all never seen it coming, like how it's about to happen, but also Nintendo going PC as well. So it's going to be a big shift when they talk about console and beyond, because the way you know these platforms and the way you've always known them, there's a lot that's going to change in the process of how they're going to repeat themselves. So I'm going to say right now, but when I drop the video, you really going to know.
Yeah, that's the highlight with some of that as well. To speak on the multi-platform strategy, Shino, he commented on it in the little video, because you have this presentation here, but they also have a video. When it pertains to like Microsoft's strategy as far as multi-platform, they said, we're confident and committed to our current strategy. There isn't an urgent need for us to pivot. It's coming from Nishino when it pertains to multi-platform. But I do agree that already PlayStation and Microsoft are third-party publishers. You know what I mean? They put their games on different platforms. I do think that they're Microsoft is more bold with it as far as they pushing that. And PlayStation is slowly trickling into that form. I don't know if they will do something like a Xbox, but we have definitely seen it on Nintendo and we see it on PC. So they said there's no urgent push, but you never know. Yo, big shout out to Viper Reeves Corner with the $4.99. Shout out to Viper Reeves. He does our timestamps for What's Up PlayStation. A big shout out to him. He said they're not trying
much
to
love, Viper Reeps.
Yes, sir. He said they're not trying to monopolize a certain aspect of gaming. I get it. And then he commented again with a $4.99 super chat. He said they're both trying to monopolize a certain portion of gaming. Correction. He's correcting himself as far as what he meant. But yo, big shout out to my man Viper Reed. But to move it along, we also see the PlayStation experience. Now I got a little tease right here, hip hop man. You know what I mean? Okay. I am an advocate for a PlayStation experience. You know, when I was going through this whole presentation, I'm clicking on the slides. And I'm like, so I clicked on this one at first. I was like, PlayStation experience. What? After you just talked about money? Hold on. Then I continued to click on it is talking about what you just mentioned just 2 minutes ago. The best place to play, the best place to publish, connecting players and creators. It's crazy how you just said that 3 months ago, then click on the slide, boom. 3 minutes ago, and then click on the slide, boom, right there. That's to back up everything that you're saying. But also to talk about the PlayStation experience, they're saying in here they reached a record high of 124 million monthly active users. Crazy. They have over 4K creators and over 12K games. How do you feel about this slide right here, y'all?
Yo, I'll let you go first, Persona. I'll let you go.
Yeah, I mean, this just shows that, the PlayStation brand is still very powerful and still has like we were just talking about much earlier, that mind share. The mind share of PlayStation is synonymous. A lot of games are very synonymous with PlayStation, even games that are full third party. Like they're releasing on all types of other platforms day one, like that, no time exclusivity deals, nothing. But people still tend to align these games more so with PlayStation because of how PlayStation has positioned themselves as the de facto console to really experience a lot of these games, especially when it comes to third-party experiences.
Facts. Yo, you couldn't have said it better myself, Big P. So I'm going to just tell you like this, dog. And this right here is crazy. Now, you see where it says the PlayStation experience, right? So how ill is that in that slide? Let me tell you how genius PlayStation is. So they could have easily, because this goes to what I was talking about the mind share before. They could have easily just showed this slide and treated it like how the ESA treat their slides when they're talking about numbers in the video game, how many people playing and blah, blah, blah. But they put the PlayStation experience. Now, you see how you reacted on Bari? The moment you saw the PlayStation experience, like, wait, hold up.
That word sound familiar.
Yeah, you see that? So they know that shareholders, everybody is going to be doing what we're doing right now, having a conversation around this. And all people are going to see is the PlayStation experience. So the thing is, what they're telling you is you don't, the success you want, you get it with PlayStation. Period. Anywhere else you go, you ain't going to get this. That's what they telling you. It's the subliminals. Like, I'm an artist, dog. I write music. I understand how to be lyrical and subliminal and all this other stuff. It's in the shot. That right there, the PlayStation experience is more valuable than the numbers that you see right there. And that's why they do it in the way that they do it.
Oh, yeah.
Because, yeah, you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So even though you see those numbers and it's like, wow, the PlayStation experience is something that's priceless. And then after they show you something that's priceless, then they show you the numbers. And then after you see the numbers, you like, oh yeah, we need to do this because we need to be a part of that ecosystem. So as long as you with PlayStation, this is what comes with it. So you never buy into the product. You buy into the brand. So the product could be doing good. The product could be doing bad. But as long as the brand is alive, you always got success. Case in point, you see my hat, New York Yankees, right? You see, I'm from New York. The Knicks, I never saw them win in my lifetime, but yet they the biggest market. So it don't even matter if they win or lose. They still the biggest market. It's the Knicks. It's the Lakers. Like, brand equity. So what I'm trying to tell you is this right here, that this one slide lets you know that PlayStation's on another level.
Yeah, and like the power of the brand, like I look at like, okay, it's like the trifecta right here. You got the monthly active users, the people that's on the platform. You got the developers that's creating games for the platform, and then you have the number of games. Showing this slide to me as well points out like, okay, this is how we build those partnerships and how we get those stellar blades, those third-party deals, and all that stuff on the PlayStation brand like we've been having before, because this circle, it comes
But
complete all the time.
also to add on to that, Bar, it's also that word of mouth, right? Because, you know, and I'll use Marvel Tokon as an example. When we saw Marvel Tokon last week at State of Play, and then they went directly into that that little mini developer deep dive, and Marvel Games and Arc System was just talking about how, or Arc System was talking about how Sony approached them and was like, yo, we want you to make this, you know, and then Marvel Games approached, and this is why you have to pay attention to those, and I pointed this out when we were, these tidbits of what these developers look at or what these big wigs are thinking, because even for Marvel, they said it was easy for us to say yes because of the success of Spider-Man. And then when you look at XDev and how they want to support them, and like everybody's just talking about the support, because like that's something that I think you see a lot with PlayStation when they partner with a lot of, because Stella Blaze said the same thing. Stella Blaze said XDev and PlayStation was very supportive in helping us develop for the PlayStation to get it to where it is. There's tons of, you know, Square Enix, CBU3 said the same thing. Forspoken developers said the same thing, that they're like, a lot of these developers that work with PlayStation, they always say XDev or PlayStation is very supportive in helping us to, you know, with the resources that we may be lacking in one area, or helping us understand that stuff. I think also spreads as well and makes other people more inclined to want to do business as well. And again, the success that you could potentially see from that also, I think, is very lucrative, and it's easy for people to make that decision.
100%. Let me get these super chats from Kenny with a 199. He said, WUPS X Jackal equal epic. Yo, Jackal.
Wow.
He going back PS3 days, hip hop, man.
yo, fun fact. Yo, Kenny really know me then, because like, fun fact, like a lot of people may not know, but I'm actually like a real rap artist. Like, I really rap, like, for real. So I'm really a hip hop artist. So before the HipHopGamer brand was ever born, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. They used to call me Jackal Flair, straight up hardcore in the hood, gangster rap. That was a different time. I was a different type of person. But the point I'm trying to say is, for him to do that, that is epic. That is epic right there, for him to throw that out there like that. Much love, Kenny. You already know what it is, son. Let's go.
Old school fan right there, for sure.
Old school.
I can go deeper in that, but I'm gonna leave it right there, 'cause I don't want to put out. But I remember the first time adding you on PlayStation was involved with that name. So
wow, yeah, that's
way back.
Crazy. Way back. Wow.
Yo, and then we have E Rice for the $2 at HipHopGamer. Will PlayStation continue to support PlayStation VR 2?
Oh, I can answer that for you. So, yes, but not in the way you may think. So, what's very interesting is, you see how PlayStation got, you know, VR on PlayStation VR 2 on PC. It's not just for the console side of things and how they changing things up and stuff like that. So, PlayStation is kind of like Xbox in that situation when it comes to VR. And what I mean by that is MetaQuest, right? And I already had these conversations, but PlayStation is looking at Meta as another home as well. So don't be surprised if you see like certain exclusive titles end up on Meta, like, you know what I mean, like, as well. You know what I'm saying? And don't be surprised if you see a joint venture on PlayStation's next VR entry, so it could be done right. So think about it like this. Imagine a PlayStation VR set, but that's in conjunction in development with Meta. What those two titans look like together. It's going to be crazy. And I'll throw something else out there to you. I put out a video. I think this video was like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And I was telling people that PlayStation is looking to bring back PlayStation Home.
That
And
should.
at
Yo, that would
first,
be great.
yeah, and the first step is to see how it would work in a virtual world, VR related. One of the biggest successes that you see on VR right now is VR chat.
Mm-hmm.
So all I'm saying is when I say things ahead of time a lot because there's a lot that it's a journey it takes before you get to certain places. But what I can tell you is between VR and going to different spaces easy and having that be a UI design is all in alignment with how they're going to continue to support PlayStation VR, but they won't support it by themselves. I'll put it like that.
Yo, shout out to my man Baticus Prime with the 15. He says, much love and respect. How do you guys feel about the console moving more towards third-party direction with their exclusive games going to more platforms? Speaking of exclusive games or PlayStation Studios, showcased by PlayStation Studios, world-class franchises, growing live service capabilities, rich narrative experiences, console and beyond. But to answer this question, I can go ahead.
You can take it, Persona.
Yeah,
That's the last
so
one. Yeah.
I mean, listen, we've been having these conversations for years, and it's 2 episodes left, right, Bari? So let's get to it. I think when it comes to third party, first of all, I think exclusives still are very important. I think having exclusive titles on, especially if you are going to have a platform within the console space, there needs to be some type of individuality or something setting you apart from the competition. I remain firm in that belief even to this day. So I do think that exclusives are still very, 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 very important. Now, in terms of the strategy of moving things to other platforms like to PC, that it's going to happen, right? So like, it's no use crying over spilt milk. Now, bringing things to PlayStation bringing things to Xbox, or Xbox bringing things to PlayStation, or Nintendo's, like that's where I feel like things are very, very jarring, where it's just kind of like you still kind of have to, it's like a shell shock type of situation. So I still feel like if these 3 are going to still be within the console space, I still think there needs to be some level of exclusivity there for them all to remain their own and have their own lane. Because I'll be honest with you, if Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild is releasing on the PlayStation, I'm not buying a Switch. You feel me? Gears and Halo is coming to Xbox. I'm not buying. Well, I'm not buying the next Xbox, right? I'm not buying. I have a PC, but if I was in that territory, I wouldn't be buying the next Xbox because, again, we have already established that PlayStation is the de facto place to play. So if PlayStation is getting all of that, why is the need to buy anything else within that console space specifically?
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So I'll just add a little bit to what you said, Pete. When you look at the way PlayStation positioned themselves, like we was talking about earlier, that's why they are in the position that they're in, because they got something to offer that nobody else has. Even with Death Stranding 2 about to come out, you can only play it on PlayStation, and then it's going to come to PC. But there's a reason for that. So PlayStation is a more quality over quantity type of brand, because when your business model is based around being an impact player, you have to have a strategy that every time you throw a punch, it makes you do this. Like, you feel like you're about to get knocked out. That's how PlayStation operate. And that's what we're accustomed to. So when PlayStation drops an exclusive, like Ghost of Yotei about to come out and all this other stuff, when they do that, everybody is waiting for this. They get the whole system for this. This is what it is. When you look at Nintendo Switch, right? Same thing. But here's the difference. Xbox, they already admitted, Phil Smith already admitted, that we lost the most important war that we needed to win. So that's dead. So all you have is PlayStation and Nintendo with the same traditional mindset that we grew up on when it comes to console exclusives, what separates yourself apart. Now, here's what's going to happen and why PlayStation 6 is going to be something unlike you never experienced, not just from a system standpoint. I'm talking about the way it's going to change economy. Like PlayStation 6 is going to change the economy of entertainment. That's, I'm telling you, it's going to change the economy of entertainment. But for now, all you have left is PlayStation and Nintendo. Now, Nintendo can't compete with no PlayStation when it comes to power and things of that nature. And when it comes to exclusives, they both got crazy hits, but there's certain things that you're not going to see on Nintendo that you're going to see on PlayStation. So what I'm trying to tell you right now is when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out next year, that's when the entire shift of the industry is going to happen, and people are going to understand more why PlayStation stayed the traditional route. You're going to understand more why they stayed the traditional route, because Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be the moment that you're going to see a big change with Nintendo, a big change with Microsoft, and the history repeating itself of PlayStation begins May 26, 2026.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big game right there.
That's a game. Oh, my fault. Go ahead.
Now, to
Sorry.
answer Back's question, personally, I don't like it, but I understand it business wise. You know what I mean? I definitely understand it business wise. The only reason why I don't necessarily like it when it comes to the multi-platform approach, but even though this business slide that I have on here is exactly what I want them to present, console first, whatever. I don't like how PlayStation is so quick, or how they can, change their stance on another platform, but complaints on their own platform, they would just stick with it. You know what I mean? Where we see a lot of changes on the PC side. Now you don't even need PlayStation Network to sign into some of these multiplayer games and whatnot. But on the PlayStation side, if you have a issue or discrepancy, it's quiet noise. So that multi-platform standpoint, I feel like there needs to be a little bit equilibrium as far as like, okay, your core audience is telling you certain things. Here, you should be listening to PC's not your core audience, because if it was their core audience, they would have it here in this slide. Platform business. Platform business, the console, peripherals, content, services, PlayStation Studios, which that can lead over to other platforms, but you know what I mean? So that's the only my standpoint, but we'll move on. We'll go ahead, Persona, what you want to say?
No, I forgot. You
All
can
right,
go.
so one thing I want to say from a business standpoint, what people got to understand when it comes to core audiences and casuals. One thing about PlayStation that they've learned to understand, and they understood this in the PS3 era, that's why PS4 turned out as good as it is, and they're on that trajectory. So PlayStation started looking at data differently. See, in the PS3 era, they didn't look at data the way they look at it now. They looked at it as if we can do whatever we want to do, but they didn't understand the power that they had. And the reason why they didn't understand the power that they had, because they didn't understand the translation of the data that they were seeing. So I give you an example to be more clear in terms of the data that they were seeing. PS1 comes out. It's the first time they ever releasing a system, and they beat everybody, and it's their first time. So now it's like, oh shoot, this works. Like we got to keep this going now, because now we got something. PS2 comes out. It works the best. Like it's next level and stuff like that. They brought DVD to the joint. Oh my gosh. Now we on the same trajectory. So now they're not following the data of people's behavior in terms of the day-to-day gamer and how they are utilizing this platform. They looking at the data of, okay, somebody brought something, so we're doing something right. Or somebody, like, their data was very top layer. Their data was very aesthetic.
Yo,
the
hip-hop,
PS3,
every slide I put up, like, yo, you are like You're synced in. You're locked in, bro.
Oh, for real? Oh, sure.
I promise you.
Yo, that's crazy. I wasn't even. Yo, I'm just going. You know what I mean? That's crazy.
I promise you, locked in. Go ahead. My bad.
So what happened is, no, it's all good. So what happened is with the PS3 era, the data revealed something to them. Now, what was introduced in the PS3 era? PlayStation Home. So they got a chance to learn new data that they didn't have before, and that was social behavior from the platform level. They never had that. So once they understood the data of the day-to-day person, they realized that they messed up with their business strategy because they thought that people just loved PlayStation. Nah, that wasn't just the deal at that time. At that time, people wanted great games, and PlayStation just happened to be the platform that had them all.
To deliver them, yeah.
So that's what they did. So what PlayStation 3 learned in terms of the data and what to look at, they learned to look at what does this person like to do when they get up in the morning? What do they like to hear? What music do they play? What they got a chance to be a part of your life. So then when PS4 comes, what do they introduce? The share button. Because people want to share. They want to do more social things. And they will pay for those experiences and those features. So yeah, let's have great games, but how are we going to utilize these great games? How are we going to, you understand what I'm saying? So now they started learning data. And once they understood data and how you operate from your day-to-day life and your behavior, you could tell me anything you want, but your behavior is not going to lie to me. You could tell me anything you want, but your body language is going to tell me the truth. And we learn that through journalism and stuff like that.
That's a good point though, and I agree with you 100% on that.
Yeah,
the reason why is because
100%.
when you look at the PlayStation 3 and how they were moving, very closed off, very siloed. You know, they were releasing great games, right? Because you are right. PlayStation's first party, that's when you really start to see PlayStation's first party strategy start to bubble up and really be like, oh shit, you know, you start getting the Uncharted, you start getting the oh my god, my brain is I just flatlined. My brain just, you get what I'm saying?
Uncharted, Killzone,
all the other stuff, right? But
Yeah.
when you look at the PlayStation 4, you started to see a major shift in, they were still putting out the best first party titles, but then they also started locking down the best third party titles on top of that. And then you've mixed that in with the share feature, right? Which was revolutionary at the time because you were able to, it took the ease of being able to share your experiences with the world. It was with the tap of a button, right? But on top of that, that's when you also started to see social media start to truly explode with the Twitters, the Instagrams, the Facebooks, the Twitch. Twitch was always popping, like streaming was always popping, but PlayStation gave you a chance to be that with the minimal amount of equipment. I could just stream from my PlayStation and build an audience and share my experiences and interact. And that keeps more people engaged. And that also introduces free marketing because now you've got people streaming these games. Oh, what game is this? Oh, I like this. Let me pick this up. So yeah, hip hop is, you definitely on the money with that for sure.
Oh yeah,
And
I mean, and to back up what y'all are saying, we're seeing this slide here. They're saying that the PlayStation 5 has taken over the monthly active users from the PlayStation 4. It's the bulk of the 124 million monthly active users. Also, when it comes to day-to-day spending on a console, the PlayStation 5 has surpassed the PlayStation 4 as well. So, as they're saying, more people are spending money, more people are buying games, more people are subscribing to services, and more people are buying peripherals with the PlayStation 5 generation.
Absolutely. And the thing is, that's why I told y'all earlier, you don't got to worry about guesswork. That's not what they do. They just follow the data, and the data tells you what to do. That's it. Bottom line. Why did PlayStation get Evo? Because they was purchasing culture. So where can I own culture? And wherever I own culture, how do I monetize culture? When you monetize culture, you monetize moments, you monetize experiences, you share them, stuff like that. That data is what people pay for. And people pay for those experiences because they pay for things that are priceless. You go to a Kendrick Lamar concert in this moment in time because of the moment, the culture, the beef with Drake, it's moments. This is what PlayStation has become. PlayStation as a product that sells games and stuff like that, that's surface level. The core of PlayStation is the moment. And now the core is becoming the casual. That's why when you see PlayStation do the things that they do, people will say what they want, just like with Call of Duty. Oh, I'm tired of Call of Duty. You lying because you're going to buy it. You want to know why you're going to buy it?
Persona,
Because
guilty.
you know why you're going to buy it? Wait, my bad. You know why you're going to buy it? Because now when you buy a Call of Duty, you can profit off of it too when you buy it. You can make that money right back because of the day and age that we're in. And you know who knows that most? Sony, the biggest platform holder of what you're going to do. They see it all. Why do you think photo mode became so big? And who makes cameras? Like, this is, come on, bro. It's all in the data. It's all in the data. Remember when I was telling y'all about being able to smell your video games and controllers going hot and cold and the new sensors and all this other stuff that's coming? Come on, bro. This is what I'm trying to tell you.
We were talking about that a while back. Yeah.
The market is for it. Yeah, go ahead.
The data is showing as well. More content is being bought by the year. So from 2022 to 2024, it has seen a marginal increase in the content and in services. Just to go over a lot of this quick little note stuff here, because there's a lot here.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we here.
Also, so PlayStation Plus had a price increase, I think it was last year. But even with the price increase, there are more people subscribing now to the extra and premium tiers of PlayStation Plus. So it's getting an increase when it comes to the premium, actually. Premium is increased from last year, from 2022, 17%, 2023, 19%, now 2024, 22%. So if you don't know premium, anybody that don't know, premium is the one that includes everything: the classic games, the streaming games, the extra catalog games, and the essential games that you have here. And also, they added it kind of goes in line with everything they're doing with the portal, the PlayStation 5. They adding that whole streaming service to the portal now, because if you are a premium, if you are a premium subscriber, you're going to get the full benefits now of that portal, because you get to stream all those games within the service. You know what I mean?
That's literally what it is. So that's why would Sony as a company listen and entertain people that don't got the information that they have? You see what I'm saying? That's why when I hear, bro, listen, like everybody in the chat, the more you listen, you'll get to know who's who when they're speaking. And like my man Jay-Z says, a wise man told me don't argue with fools, because people from a distance can't tell who is who. That's a very true statement across the board in life. So what I'm trying to tell you is, people will say PlayStation this, or they ain't doing that, or they messing up, blah, blah, blah. Really? Really? What company have you ever owned or ran? What have you ever done? Like, be careful who you listening to, and like study those that really do this. Bro, I'm a partner with the New York Stock Exchange, B. I'm the first and only gamer to do that. So I'm just telling you right now, not only do I know what I'm talking about, the people that people get their information from, who do you think sit in the rooms with? I'm just telling you, I know what I'm talking about because I do it.
I can tell you one thing that's looking at this slide right here, they could capitalize even more on, is this personal experience stuff or expression, right? They have the plates, they have the controllers. One thing I do love what Microsoft has done when it comes to the Xbox controllers, that you have that design lab, and I want this specific color or this color scheme. I get to pay for that. Boom, people are doing that. Put my name, initials on there. I'm still questioning, like, I don't know how PlayStation's not doing that with either the plates or the controllers. I don't understand, but
I don't get that either.
You know what I mean? I feel like they could definitely capitalize a little bit more on that aspect. Do you agree with that, or hip hop, or is it's like I see how it is, what it is?
Yeah, so the thing is, they could capitalize on it more, but the thing is, one of the things that PlayStation is doing and what the data is telling them is that you got to do something to see the initial reaction to make your move. So I'll give you an example, right? One thing that you're going to see, and I believe this is going to come more officially in the PlayStation 6 era, is you're gonna see PlayStation ID. So what it is just like how you had Nike, how you have Nike ID
I use it.
and all these other things, like you're gonna see more of a system that operates this. And now the platform and that system will be promoted. So when people see it, anybody could just get what they want versus it just being some itemized stuff that they just put out and then people just go buy. I'm not going to put out something in hopes that you just buy it. I'm going to put out an opportunity in a system for you to just use it the way you want to use it, and then you just get it when you get it. So that right there is different, because what Sony is doing and what the data tells everybody is, how can I continue to invest in ways that empower people to do what they want to do as long as they do it on my platform? That's literally what it is. I want to give audiences the ability to do whatever they want to do on my platform. You want to know why? Because giving you, as long as I'm able to give you power, lets me know how I control the power I give you. That's another part of the business model. Everybody wants to feel powerful. That's why gaming is so dominant, because music you listen to, movies you watch, but gaming you control. Interactivity. You push a button, you make somebody do something. It gives you power. That's the dopamine in a human. Power. You know what I mean? So it can also be utilized as a business model. So the business model with Sony especially is, how can I give you power on my platform? As long as I give you power, you're going to be hooked. But as long as I got you hooked, I control the power I give you. So at the end of the day, I'm still in control. And that's the business model. Control.
Yeah, I feel that. Yo, what's good, everybody, man? Appreciate everybody coming through. If you don't mind, hit the like button. If you're enjoying the show, hit the like button. Share the stream out, get the PlayStation Nation in here. We talking about the PlayStation business meeting, and we about to get into the juicy part. Well, everything has been juicy, pause. But we about to get into the studio business side of things now. And before we get into that part, I just want to let y'all know, if you are playing with a backbone and your cell phone, that is a PlayStation. A little joke. My bad. I apologize, Hip-Hop. My bad.
No, nah, it's all good. I got my Razer Kishi right here.
Let's go.
You know
That's a PlayStation. You know what I mean? All right, so let's get into the business side. I mean, the PlayStation studio business. So single player, creative leadership, consistent delivery, live service, build, foundation, strength, capabilities, franchises, growth IP, powerhouse of franchises in gaming and beyond. So they're going to go and explain all of that. But here is something that caught my eye. I'm pretty sure it caught Persona eye, as far as PlayStation Studios. So the global team, this is all the PlayStation Studios right here. And what did you notice right here, Persona, in this slide?
I noticed that Bungie is under PlayStation.
He caught it. He caught it.
It's about time, man.
Are we seeing a full integration now?
Listen. Like I said, it was only a matter of time. But this marathon situation, especially with that art theft and all that. Listen, man, Bungie about to be assimilated, become a part of the Borg. You hear what I say? That's a Star Trek reference, by the way.
So yeah,
they about to become part of the Borg, man.
One thing that's cool, before we elaborate on this, one thing that's cool that they showcase here is that they're letting everybody know, as far as like, okay, here's what everybody's making as far as single player. Here's what everybody's making as far as live services. As you see, they trimmed that down. And here's what they're making as far as like evolving and multi-genre. This can be single player. From what I'm understanding, this can be single player, live service, multiplayer. It's just like, it might be both as well.
Gumbo.
You know,
that's the gumbo side. The gumbo side.
This is like, all right, we get to ball right here, because we can already tell Polyphony, they only make live service, which is, Gran Turismo. Dark Outlaw is a new studio that they just bought, that I'm thinking they're making a single player live service type game. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking this is just a more of a core blend of the two, rather than the two distinctive single player, multiplayer. Here we're doing everything here. Code development support, and then XDev publishing. Which, shout out to XDev, man. The workhorse, man, the backbone. They definitely help out with a lot of PlayStation games, but also a lot of the games that PlayStation is partnered with. XDev is out here with that. But yo, what's your thoughts on seeing this slide right here, y'all?
Yo, I mean, well, for me, what I love about it is Sony is still focused on where they're dominant at when it comes to production, and that's their single player narrative story driven games. You know what I'm saying? So that's always good to see, right? Now, what's interesting is it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So I know everybody's clowning PlayStation with the live service like situation right now. I understand that. But remember, you get hits and misses when you're still in the process of learning within this development space. Because remember, no matter how big the brand is, you got to always get the right team together. When you got the right team, you could do something. That's why you may get something like Concord, where it's like, what was this? But then you get Helldivers 2 in the same breath, and it's like, wow. So that's what they're working through. Now, one thing I would tell you, and this is very, very, very interesting, you're going to see differences in how these studios is set up. So the way this slide looks right now, in the next 3 years, this slide is going to be different.
As far as like what they, as far as what they're making.
So I'll tell you this: like when you look at XDev publishing, code development support, you might see that in the single player side, you know, and like you're going to start seeing some roles change within 3 years. You're going to see some of those roles change, and you're going to see newcomers come in. You're going to start seeing that. Now, the reason why you're going to start seeing that is because PlayStation is going to start getting that much more part of the pie, like how Xbox has done from a publishing standpoint, because the publishing is the real bank. I'm telling y'all right now, publishing is the bank of all of this in the gaming world. Publishing is everything. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Lastly, what this tells me is that they have a roadmap of understanding the best of the teams that they got and where they need to be put at for success for the brand to continue to grow and scale leading into that next generation. Because the PS5 is going to be here a while. So what you're seeing right now is the PS5 game plan. The PS6 game plan, you're going to see a lot of those roles change with newcomers coming in.
Sony, your thoughts? And we listen. Yo, hip hop, hip hop. He be lining it up, man. I don't have to do nothing, bro. All I gotta do is click. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie, man. I feel like I'm just a listener today, which is not a bad thing, because like hip hop, dropping knowledge. I'm engaged. You feel me?
He lining it up nice. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm just clicking.
I real talk. I can't add much more to that. I'm gonna be honest. Keep it going.
Yeah, because here we're seeing all of the single player games that PlayStation has put out throughout the years. You know what I mean? People's like, yo, PlayStation ain't got the games or whatnot. People forget that, yo, Horizon, GT7, God of War, Ragnarok, Spider-Man, Astrobot, they all came out prior to 2025. And then in 2025, you got Ghost of Yote and Death Stranding coming out. And they also let you know the upcoming games, Intergalactic, The Heretic Prophet, and Wolverine. So we get they ain't forget Wolverine. Yo, Persona, talk to them.
When I seen this, I smiled ear to ear, because I'm like, Wolverine is like one of my favorite Marvel characters of all time. Like, I'm a big Wolverine, big X-Men fan. And this game has been on my most anticipated list since 2021 when we first learned about it. But the fact that we didn't know nothing else about this, I'm like, PlayStation, are you going to acknowledge Wolverine? We'll be for this, you feel me? So the fact that they're acknowledging it here and still confirming it is upcoming, and we're still going to be seeing this pretty soon. I'm hoping maybe next year or maybe 2027, who knows? But I love that. And Intergalactic, listen, I'm a Naughty Dog stan, you understand? So I can't wait for Intergalactic. And then one game that's not here, but we know is coming, Soros, is also 2026 as well. Can't wait for that.
And Tokon.
And Tokon. So, you know, 2026 going to look crazy for PlayStation now. Think about it, yo. Jeez.
Yo, I'm going to tell you like this. I was with Corey Barlog and I was with Mark Cerny. Get ready. Get ready. And you know me, you know the conversations I be having.
Oh yeah,
I'm
yo,
just
trust. I
telling you.
know. Oh yeah, trust. I definitely know. I'll
I'm
say
telling
this too. Like when it comes to like 2026 or it like just looking at 2026, if PlayStation, because that's still not confirmed, so that's why I'm
Yeah.
only saying if.
Things
But
can
if
happen.
PlayStation has the marketing rights for GTA 6, you got Marvel Tokon, Soros, Wolverine, into 2026. That might push PlayStation into like a new stratosphere where it's
I
just
think
like,
it's already confirmed that they have it because they're only showing the game being
I don't
ran
want
over
to.
in
I don't want to
trailers.
speak in absolutes, man, because you know how
Yo.
it is. I think so too, but you know how shit is, bro.
But
That's
look,
why I'm only
you-
saying if.
You're not going to have the marketing rights like wherever they showing that trailer because they saying this is captured on PlayStation 5 every time they showing this trailer. So
You're right.
that's
Yeah.
why I'm assuming it's PlayStation. But
Nah,
You're
it's no. I'm telling you, I was at the party, bro. I was at the party. Me, RZA, shout out to Wu-Tang, you know what I'm saying? MOP, shout out to my man Big Dance
sir.
and Fame, like my OSG family, my man Lays, Mala. Yo, I was at the party, bro. Rockstar, they ain't playing with y'all. Like Rockstar, let me tell you internally. One thing I can tell you internally about Rockstar. Rockstar is kind of like 50 Cent in a way. It's like don't play with me. Cause it can go there and I ain't taking no L's. You're gonna know why I am who I am. Like, you know what I'm saying? Rockstar is very, very competitively quality driven in this industry, bro. They always internally they talk like this. They like, we don't want nobody to be better than us. Like when we step out, you need to know that this is a Rockstar game. You need to know that this is a Rockstar industry.
Yeah,
Like this is
I
us.
like that.
That's how they are, dog.
Yeah,
That's how they
hearing that.
are.
Most of the best studios in my opinion, they have that swagger. They have that,
Sony
that
Santa
energy.
Monica. Yep.
Yeah,
Sony Santa Monica the same way. And yo, I'm gonna keep it a buck with
Naughty
you,
Dog as
right?
well. Yeah.
Naughty Dog as well. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, bro. When you really sit down and just have real conversations with a lot of these developers, I'm telling you right now, on camera, they can't always say certain things, whatever, I get it. But off camera, they like, yo, they can't mess with us. Like, they'll tell you straight up, this dev team, they can't mess with us. Matter of fact, they had to outsource. They be like, yo, they had to outsource just to be able to get this done because internally they can't. they don't even know how to use this. They don't even know how to the Z brush and the way you drop that. They don't even know how to utilize that right. Get out of here. I already see the imperfections. Like, get out of it. Like, yo,
I believe it. I'm
telling you, when you look at the elite in the industry, they have a certain standard that they walk with. But even within that standard, they have humility because they just thankful for the opportunity to do it. But the fact that they got the opportunity, you ain't taking a spot. You ain't taking a spot. That's how they are.
I like that. I don't have an issue with a whole development studio having that type of energy. Maybe because we're New Yorkers, we with that,
Yeah.
but I don't have an issue with that.
They're delivering. Yeah, you definitely want to walk in the room like, yeah. Own that room.
Speaking of delivering, Persona, Astrobot, Game of the Year and ambassador of PlayStation Experience. So Astrobot was big. This was in the video for Herman Hulse. He said that Astrobot was a smash hit, achieving universal acclaim among players and critics and sweeping the award show. He also said that he would like Astrobot and to be an enduring and iconic game franchise for PlayStation.
PlayStation is definitely trying to position Astrobot to be the Mario of PlayStation. 100%. 100%. They definitely trying to position him to be that. And honestly, with the way they've been supporting Astrobot and like the critical acclaim, the success, the sales and everything, I can see this. I can see that being a possibility.
I ain't never played a bad Astrobot game. Like even when it was just the experience where you used to use the touchpad to do the little ninja joints on the PlayStation 4, then on the PlayStation 5, the VR game, like all of them been pretty fun for me. So I could definitely see Astrobot, propelling to like, okay, you got Astrobot, then now here's Astrobot World or here Astrobot whatever title, you know what I mean, going forward. But what's your thoughts, Hip Hop Astrobot, man?
Got you. So I was trying to pull up a video because I was going to tell I was gonna tell the chat to go to it, but I forgot what the title of the video was. But here's what I'll tell y'all, because this
they probably know.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you to go to it, but I don't remember what the title of is my video. I just don't remember what the title was. But I was gonna tell y'all to go to it. But here's the deal. Anyway, here's the deal. So this is crazy. All right. So now, when I was at CES, and I get a lot of exclusive stuff, right? So what I can tell you about Astrobot is you're looking at your new AI agent. Like, that's how serious Team Asobi and what Sony is doing going into the next generation of PlayStation. So, like, Astrobot isn't just going to be only like the mascot from a video game standpoint in terms of what you play. Astrobot is going to be who you talk to navigate your system. So,
I get what you're saying. Okay,
get ready. Put it like this. All right, let me help y'all out.
You know what?
If you ever played, go ahead.
Nah, because that I remember. You remember the first PlayStation VR? You had like the Astrobot little bot that you can like navigate around with it. I forgot the dude's name. It might be Asobi. It might be the name of the studio. I forgot the name of it. But go ahead. My bad.
Yep. So what the deal is if you turn on Detroit Become Human, anybody right now, if you got that game Detroit Become Human and you turn that on and you see how the UI is, get ready. Astrobot is more than just an ambassador. Astrobot is going to be the defining factor on how PlayStation's next generation business model take it to a level that we never even seen before, not even now in the PS5 era. And let's just say, Lord willing, if there's no pandemic that hit again, you're going to see PlayStation 6 in a completely different light. And put it like this, at the engine level, at the system level, you never seen a system like what's coming. Like, that's what I'm excited about. The nature of the system itself. Put it like this, I'm going to give you an old situation that's going to be new for now. Anybody that has ever played Sega Master System, when you turn the Sega Master System on with no cartridge in it, there's a maze game that you could play. So you could play the system without a cartridge in it and stuff like that. What I'm trying to tell you, at the system level of PlayStation 6, the system itself is its own game. I'll just leave it at that.
I get where you're going. I can make comparisons, but I get where you're going with that. But we also see the next highly anticipated next installment of the major franchise. They already put in a lot of investment. You're going to have a state of play very soon for Ghost of Yote. And listen, bro. I can't wait for this game.
I can't wait.
Two of my
can't wait.
most anticipated games. Metal Gear Solid. That's one of my favorite games of all time. They're remaking that. It looks beautiful. Ghost of Yote for this year. Can't wait for this joint right here, man. Well, to move it along here, they're talking about more of their live service portfolio now. And then, you have MLB The Show, one of the biggest live service games. You have Destiny, Helldivers 2, Marathon, and upcoming Fair Games. And I just want to point this out because I remember when people talk about the Fair Game stuff and how things is restructuring. And this is a small little detail, but I just want to put it out there. The $ is still there on the S, man. You know what I mean? That rumor came out, I was like, no, they got rid of it, blah, 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 blah. I'm just saying, PlayStation putting out there that it's still there. But when it comes to the live service, a lot of people will say PlayStation is failing this aspect, which I understand that they have a big, L with Concord. How I feel about Concord is totally different than how the general gaming consensus was when it came to Concord. But if you look at this slide right here, you got 3 games that is monumental. MLB The Show, Destiny 2, as far as like people playing and the peak of things of how many people were playing it, and Helldivers 2. That's PlayStation. You know what I mean? And that's not even including Gran Turismo or whatnot. But we do have Marathon and Fair Games. Hip Hop Persona, talk to me. I know Persona might be a little bit jaded from that Marathon, but talk to me, man.
All right, so I'll jump in first, then I'll let Persona bring it on home. And yo, Bari, when you get a chance, check your message that I sent you on X.
All right, man.
All right. Okay. So now, one thing I want to say about Marathon and Fair Games and all this other stuff, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. This is why having the right leadership is important. So, too many people got leaders that follow. That's not smart. So the thing is, when you look at the industry and you see the success of Fortnite and so many other Call of Duty and so many other live service games or whatever, just because they got their success doesn't mean that's for you, dog. It doesn't mean that it's just going to work for you because it worked for somebody else. You really got to do something crazy. And the last thing you want to do is tarnish a great name like Sony PlayStation when it comes to the first party quality level, even in a gas game. So what I would say is, when it comes to these games like Marathon and Fair Game, I don't think it's smart to send a new IP out for the world to just play like that. I think it's one of those situations where you build something up, make it the best you can make it, release it, and go with it. Or this little, let them test it out, and let's build the game together. And nah, I don't think that's wise. And the reason why I don't think that's wise is because you don't get a second chance at a first impression. I'm going to say it again. You do not get a second chance at a first impression. And all I can say is, based off first impressions, from what I heard, it's not looking good.
For
I'll leave it
Fair
at that.
Games, you talking about, or Marathon?
Both.
Listen, man.
Come on, man. Look, I love Jay Raymond, and shout out to all of them. And I understand the quality of team that's with Marathon, but here's the problem. You know what I'm saying? When you got developers that's just developing, but don't got any voices in boardrooms and what really controls and how things work, then you gotta take the L on your work, even if you don't even make all the decisions on it. And that's tough right there. That's why a lot of go ahead.
That's facts.
So my and Bari and I have talked about this a lot on this channel for years, and I've been talking about this for years when it comes to live service. I'm deep in the live service streets. I think live service definitely has a place in gaming. I agree that I think PlayStation, their approach to live service this generation is definitely was very half-assed. It was not good. Like it was bad. Like the delivery of it is bad. The cancellation of games, the shutting down of studios, the investing in billions into these 12 live service games, and then scaling it back to 6, and now scaling it back to like 3. You feel me? This has definitely put it's definitely put a couple scrapes on PlayStation's legacy.
Scars
for this generation for sure. When it comes to Marathon, I already think Marathon is a dud. Like I think I played it. I personally find no joy in this game, and I actually think it's a joyless game just in general. Fair Games, I'm not really into heist, and it seems like a lot of these games they releasing are too samey. One thing I will disagree with you on, hip hop, is at least for live service. I feel when it comes to live service gaming, there needs to be a collaboration between the community and the developer when it comes to making these games, because if the idea is for the game to be ever evolving and to continue to grow, you need to have that community input to understand that you're on the right path to keep people engaged. Because if you only create something in a vacuum, like what we saw with Concord, which it had great gameplay, it had, some nice elements to it, but where it fell flat was it didn't have a story. It didn't have enough of this or enough of that, and when you look at Marathon, it's the same thing. If you would have put this out to the public earlier in the development cycle, you could have probably mitigated a lot of what we're seeing now. Same thing with, and then when you look at the successes like Marvel Rivals, that was in early access. There's tons of games that are in early access and get, I don't want to say co-developed with the community, but they're building it as it go. So I just feel like live service games should kind of still be a little bit more aligned with the community and have that open communication early on in the development process to be like, hey, look, we're building this, we're building that. Let's play this and play test to kind of see where it is. Because if you create that in a vacuum and have a dedicated group of people playing it, sometimes you don't get the same results you would get if you brought it to the public.
But see, here's the thing. I gotta. All right. So here's my pushback on that, bro. One of the examples that you brought up was Marvel Rivals. It's Marvel. Like, we already grew up with Marvel. We already know what that is, and it's also based on a formula that was already well received, which was Overwatch. So all they did was combine the branding of Marvel and the gameplay of Overwatch and tweaked a few things, and you got Marvel Rivals. So that's different because of the nature of what it is. We talking about two IPs that's brand new that nobody know. And when you dealing with something that somebody don't know, that these IPs are strangers to the audience. So there's no relationship there. You got to build a relationship. So when you creating something new and you bringing out a new IP, that's the whole point of it being a new IP. There's risk involved. So you got to trust your creative gut to really make it happen and land that plane on your own and bring people to what you've built. See, the thing is, how you was talking about Uncharted 4 earlier and the multiplayer and stuff like that, Uncharted established something in relationship with the audience. So when multiplayer came into that world, it came into that field, not only was it well received, but we already loved the franchise. So now that they went the multiplayer route, and he did a great job, it was like, yo, this is magical. Let's keep this going. So this is what I'm trying to say. Now, when you look at a game like Fair Game and you look at a game like Marathon and stuff like that, there's nothing backing that and backing that name. There's nothing there. So either it's solely up to the greatness of the developers. So you don't want audiences that don't understand the creative side and the creative development to conflict with what you want to create. Because then what happens is, if you make something and that joint is hot and it works, it's all on you and the development team. Congratulations. But if you make something hot and it don't work, all right, cool. At least you can stand by that because you tried your best. But if you throw it out there and the people ain't rocking with it, then it's like, dag, like ain't nowhere else to go because the first impression is already a dud. There's nothing for you to stand on because you have no skin in the game because this is a brand new IP. And now your investment is really shot. No matter how good you try to turn it around, the money is going to take for you to turn it around, to put it out, and to get the people to come back to it and have support of it. All of those layers has been shot no matter how much money you throw at it. So it's more of a risk on that side, in my opinion, like that.
So I have a follow-up question for you then.
Okay.
If the case is to just put the game out, believing your creativity, in which I agree, developers should put the games out that they feel are the best.
It shows confidence in your game.
Yeah, explain to me why Factions 2 got canceled.
Wait, say again?
Factions 2 got canceled, and the community wasn't even able to see or experience that game to even be able to tell Naughty Dog this wasn't a great experience. Don't do this again. They took it upon themselves to assume we can't support a game of this magnitude and sheer size, so we're going to cancel it ourselves without giving you the ability to see what we created.
That's smart. That's smart. That's a great move. Because see, for example, right? If I'm creating something, right? Or just like this show, you're producing this show, right? Mm-hmm. If you're producing something and you know your capabilities, you know what's hot and you know what's not, and you're in the process of producing something and you looking at it like, you know what, this ain't it. When you are creative, it's not up to the audience to decide your final decision, because the final decision is what you have to stand on, not them. So what I'm trying to say is, when Factions 2 got canceled and nobody got a chance to see it, good. Because if people would have got a chance to see it and put it out, and let's say it wasn't it, that means that the creatives know it wasn't it, but they put it out anyway. And then the audience is going to know it wasn't it. Why did you put this out? You should know better than that. And now everybody gets a chance to take that shot at you. Everybody gets a chance to take your creativity and shred it apart, break it apart, and now there's a stain on that resume. So I'm not going to give the audience the opportunity to do something when I don't even feel comfortable standing on it myself. You got to let that go.
Hey, I listen, I ain't gonna debate that. Both got great points on that one right there, y'all. You gonna hold you. Hip hop, you was slick. You was slick too. You brought up this podcast. I like how you think, bro.
Yeah, not fact. Yo, facts,
it's
bro.
Facts,
like,
though. It's facts. It's facts.
Yo, keep it a bean. Keep it a bean. One of the best things, especially in journalism, and especially in debates, the quickest way to see who's who when you having like debates or conflict or differences is to put yourself in the mirror. Everybody can do this, but when you do this, it gets very different. So I'm the kind of person where before I do this first. So because I do this first, I already know how I'm gonna come at anything that I do. You understand what I'm saying? I already know how I'm gonna put myself out there regardless of anything that I do. So if I know in my heart and soul that something ain't right, but yet I still put it out anyway, then that means that I never even had control over my creativity. And if that's the case, I need to go back to the drawing board to understand what it means to be a creative. Because if I can't own every element of what I create, the good, the bad, and the ugly, then I'm not built to handle what it means to be a creator.
Yo,
Yeah, I can't argue with that, man.
HipHopGamer, the GOAT. You already know the vibes, man.
You already know what it is, man. I love y'all, man. I wish y'all was, real talk, I wish y'all wasn't stopping this, man. You know what I'm saying? Persona, Bari, I love y'all. I mean it, man. I was so excited to see y'all. We took a picture together, everything. I'm telling y'all, everybody in the chat, man. Yo, these brothers, man. Yo, I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all, because I see it all day in the culture, and I'm not the type of person to complain. I just continue to work and do my thing. But I think it's really sad that people try to play you because of the love and support you try to give. But the moment you give it to them, like, I'm gonna tell you right now, Persona and Bari, you guys are amazing. I love y'all. I stand on that. I stand by that, man. Y'all are incredible. And you know what's so funny? You'll have some people that's insecure and be like, yo, hip hop, why you glazing them? Why you this? Why you that? But if I was to show you that same love, oh, it's cool though. Stop being a hater. Stop being a hater. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't gotta prove nothing to nobody. I'm already me. I don't gotta prove nothing to nobody. But Jay, Bari, and Persona, I love you, brothers, man. I love y'all. And what y'all built is so incredible. And if y'all decide to come together to do something different, fine. I'm with it. I'm all in support. But, you know, sometimes good things come to an end. I get it. But I just want to thank y'all for the road. Just thank y'all for the journey that you provided, man. And forever, bro, forever. What's up, PlayStation? Let's get it.
Yo, appreciate that, man. Appreciate that for real, man. Hey, yo, you spitting facts, man. You know what I mean? A lot of people scared to acknowledge or just to hype somebody up, or, you know, give that person his just due or whatnot, because of like the perception how they would look in front of other people that they don't meet, they don't go to these, you know, events or nothing. You know what I mean? So I definitely agree with you, boy. Hip hop, man. I know you gotta go. Yo, bless the people with your outro. Let the people know where they can find you. You already know the vibes, man.
Yo, dog, Google me, dog. HipHopGamer, I'm everywhere. You know what I'm saying? To go to the game, check me out on Hot 97. You know what I mean? Check me out on AMD. Check me out on the New York Stock Exchange. I'm everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And I got mad new stuff coming. I got mad content and coverage coming from Summer Games Fest and many other places. Stay tuned to what I'm about to do with John Cena and Idris Elba. Yo, it's lit over here. So I love y'all. God bless. Stay tuned, stay locked in to go to the game. Hip Hop Gamer. We out. What's
Yes,
up,
sir.
PlayStation?
Yes,
Peace.
sir,
Appreciate
man.
you, hip hop, yo. Thanks for coming through, bro.
Of
Appreciate
course,
you,
bro. We out.
Yeah, I love that, man. I love that,
Yeah.
man. You know what I mean? Yo, big shout out to HipHopGamer coming through, man. Like, one thing I love about hip hop, he is what you see on the internet. That's who he is online.
Yeah.
I mean, in person as well. You know what I mean? Like, very energetic. You know what I mean? Very warm, welcoming and warm person. Like, yo, he'll greet you, say what's up to you, have a conversation, all that stuff, man. You know what I mean? And I think people like him definitely needs to be protected. Definitely needs to be in this community because I like that vibe. You can disagree on a gaming opinion, gaming thought, all that. You know what I mean? Which is cool. But at the end of the day, you're here because what? The accord is you love to play video games. You know what I mean? People forget that part. Here, you could be on PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo. Yeah, you can have your disagreements, your back and forth, it's your console wars, but that don't mean I hate you as a person. You know what I mean? I know that you like video games or you play video games. You get what I'm saying? But people lose that that thought pattern, you know, with social media and whatnot.
That's a fact, man.
Yo, let me get these super chats, Persona, man. Big shout out to my man Viper Reap Corner with a 199. He says, you get Concord Part 2. Yo, listen, man. Every week Concord get brought up, rightfully so. I promise you, I missed that game, man. I missed that game with a passion. And then shout out to Gifted Gamer 204 with the $9.99 iPhone user. It's a great show, y'all. My bro Hip Hop Gamer brought the heat. Great show. Yo, we appreciate the donation, y'all. We appreciate all the super chats that we got here, y'all. Thank you. And we appreciate it. You know what I mean? But your Persona.
Yes, sir.
Let's finish up this business meeting thing, and then we're gonna move on to the other news or whatnot. But PlayStation is showing their track record with the growing game IP and franchises. And as you can see, you know, I guess this is like with the potential growth into enduring franchises, developing IPs. You got the Ghost franchise, Helldivers, Astrobot, new IP, Marathon, Fair Games, and others in development. So this is the franchise lifetime engagement hours on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and on PC based on a company research. So this is like based on a third-party company research as far as how many hours people are playing of these games. And yo, God of War beat out all the games here as far as the most hours people are putting in. So God of War number 1, MLB number 2, Gran Turismo number 3, Spider-Man number 4. Spider-Man beat out Destiny as far as hours put in, bruh. You know what I mean? Destiny number 5, The Last of Us number 6, Uncharted number 7, and Horizon series number 8. Does this line up? What's your thoughts when it comes to like most hours put into a game or PlayStation game?
I would have thought GT and MLB would have been ahead, like number 1, number 2. But you know, God of War, you know, it's a very popular franchise. I think people underestimate just how popular that game is, man. Like God of War as a franchise, extremely successful and popular for PlayStation. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me. But I would have expected GT or MLB to be number 1, number 2.
Yeah. And here we got the them talking about, you know, the console and beyond. So you got franchises that's moving into the movies or TV show medium, where you're gonna have Ghost of Tsushima with Ghost of Tsushima Legends is gonna have an animation. Until Dawn movie, Gran Turismo movie, Uncharted movie. What is this? Uncharted. I don't even know what
ride. It's a ride.
Oh, it's a ride. Okay, gotcha. Then you got The Last of Us, horror, never whatever. I don't know what that is either. And The Last of Us TV
Like
show.
or event at like amusement park type stuff.
And then you have Twisted Metal as well, TV show. Before we close up this PlayStation segment, like I said, there was things that Nishino and Herman Hulse has said when it pertains to the the business meeting. And one of the things that I was very happy to hear when it comes to this business meeting Persona is that the focus when it comes to PlayStation and the next gen console. So here's a quote. This is being compared to the Switch 2 and the handhelds and the hybrids and whatnot. He said we're closely monitoring the overall gaming industry, including the actions of other market participants. We believe PlayStation 5 performance is required to achieve great experiences on big screens. Says they are aware of the publisher's trend towards multi-platform. We already spoke about that. But yeah, basically what he's saying is that, from what I'm understanding, is that we're going to stick to the traditional console when it comes to the PlayStation 6 and not a hybrid kind of ordeal. How you feel about that? And then we'll move on from there.
I think that's good. And the PlayStation doesn't need to follow Nintendo. What they're doing is working and it's successful. I know that there's this big talk about handhelds now, and this is handheld, this console, all this other stuff that's kind of being talked about now. But what works, and kind of going back to what Hip Hop was saying with his point, they know the data, so know where people really are playing, or what people really are putting their time into. And when it comes to what makes sense for PlayStation and their business strategy, I wouldn't think a hybrid would necessarily be the next logical step. I think creating another home-based console, because you dominate the home market, and then have something to kind of complement that as a secondary, kind of like what they're doing with Portal, makes more sense than taking their main money maker like the PlayStation 5 and going into the PlayStation 6 and going in a entirely different direction that may hurt the amount of money they can make from that next generation of gaming.
Yeah, I like the Portal approach as well, but I do think that you can go far and above with the Portal experience. Continue that with a full-fledged handheld that can continue the experience on natively, where you don't have to be connected to the internet. I think they can do that on top of having a Portal experience as well. But something like that is going to cost you. You know what I mean? I feel like the Portal was kind of smart because you got a $199 device that can continue your play with internet connection from where you have on your PlayStation 5. It's complementing the PlayStation 5. But I do think the option should be there as well. If somebody do want to shell out that money for that full-fledged continue your PlayStation 5 games natively with a handheld, and on top of that you can also have the remote play features and the streaming features, I think you should have that option. But we'll definitely see. But I'm happy that they're not doing this whole hybrid thing. I know that's the wave, and a lot of people is excited for that stuff, which the Switch, don't get it twisted, that it's cool. But when it comes to the full-fledged AAA games and whatnot, I want to see that jump being taken advantage of when it comes to the hardware. So PlayStation 6, I want to see, like, okay, leap in next-gen hardware, what these games can deliver. And I feel like with a hybrid approach, you're limiting that option as far as like benchmarks and pushing the games forward as far as when it comes to visuals and immersion and things like that. Not saying that you can't have those things with a hybrid, but I feel like you're going to be more limited. And if you're not going to be limited, then it's going to cost a whole bunch of money because you have a handheld and you have this docking station kind of thing. All right, but let's move it along, Persona. Let's get into the news, because we was both wrong when it came to the player's choice. This was our personal player's choice pick when it came to May, but Doom: The Dark Ages it won the player's choice for May 2025, topping out Elden Ring, Night Reign. So that's
Really?
that's what we thought was going to win, was Elden Ring, but Doom actually took it and won.
I'm actually surprised at that. Honestly, I thought Elden Ring, Night Ring would have swept. But
Yo, it's funny because, like I said, when I watched back the episode, I was like, what did we pick? And we both picked Doom as far as like our personal pick, but we thought Elden Ring was going to take it.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, congrats to Doom, man. Doom's a cool game. Like I said, just a little too long in the tooth, but big congrats to Doom. For beating out Elden Ring. That's very impressive.
Yeah. Yo, so moving along as well, we have some information when it comes to Summer Game Fest games announced. And that's mostly here is going to be talking about Capcom games. And Capcom is out here killing it, man. Capcom is out here killing it. We can go about a whole bunch of games, but I'm gonna lead into the Capcom side of things. Where's this Resident Evil? Mixtape looks dope. So Pragmata 2026, yo. People got some hands-on it. Not gonna go into too much details. They got Maximilian Dude, many other creators that had hands-on with Pragmata that went to Summer Game Fest. And from what I'm hearing, this is gonna be a hit, Persona. It's gonna be a hit. This is gonna be a hit, yo.
It'll be really good. It looks really good, man. So that's good that we're hearing some good stuff about that. I didn't watch the previews, but I'm excited for Pragmata for sure. I can't wait for 2026 with this for sure. Very excited.
Oh, yeah, 100% with me as well, man. I can't wait for Pragmata. Because like I said, when it came to Pragmata, I wasn't necessarily like excited for it. I was like, okay, cool. You know, Capcom game. You know what I mean? I'm going to play it. I enjoy Capcom. But when I saw the newest trailer, I was like, oh, the movement kind of looked kind of crazy on here, man. I like what I'm seeing. You know what I mean? And then we have Resident Evil Requiem, Resident Evil 9. They have a date, February 27th. There was hands-on previews on this as well, where they said there's an option that you can choose between third-person point of view and first-person point of view. You know what I mean? And big shout out to my man Wolf. I know Wolf was super excited for this game right here. I know he's a big Resident Evil fan as well. And I know he's hella excited. But you're gonna be playing as Grace Ash. I said Ash Ford. I did some research on this character. Her mom seemed to be like a I want to say FBI agent or something like that. I don't know the lore of Resident Evil. When it comes to like these off characters, you know, like Persona, you always bring up like Code Veronica and those games. I don't know nothing about those games. I'm more in the main line with the games. But the big key point here is that you get to choose as far as your perspective, and as far as how you like to play. You know what I mean? How you feel about that Persona? Oh, and also they had a section here running on PlayStation 5 Pro, and it looked great. But what's your thoughts on everything here, Persona?
Yeah, so I had to finish 8, but RE9 looks great. And when it comes to the first and third person, I know that was a big thing that people were really wanting to come back. So the fact that they're giving you the option to choose between first or third person, I think that's great. That's a good thing. So more power to them for that. And yeah, can't wait for RE9. Looking like a good time.
Yeah, like I play the Resident Evil games. Will I say I'm like a super fan of them? No, but I do play them. I do enjoy them. I think they're great. And like I said, I became more of a fan of Resident Evil with the remakes. Originally, when I played them on PlayStation, wasn't a biggest fan. I would play them, you know, little jump scares here and there, blah blah blah. But wasn't like, oh, I love these games. But seeing the remakes and whatnot, man, amazing. And they're just saying here, this trailer being ran on the PlayStation 5 Pro. So we already know the joint is looking crazy. It's looking butter. It's looking smooth. The ray tracing, all that. I was playing Resident Evil 4 again. I love the hell out of that game, man. And yo, that was my first time playing that game on this monitor. Yo. Nailed it, yo. The PlayStation 5 Pro update. Nailed it, man. Nailed it, yo. Amazing game, bro. But yeah, Capcom, they out here killing it, man. And they have Omnimusha, Wear the Sword as well coming through next year. And there was hands-on previews on that. I don't have the link for the hands-on previews for that, but from what I'm hearing, you know, from one of my favorite content creator, Max, that one is also going to be a surefire hit as well. Okay. All right, Persona, let's move it along here, where we're going to talk about the DualSense, man. Let's talk about the DualSense a little bit, because there is a new DualSense update coming to PlayStation. So the update want to pair your DualSense controller to multiple devices at once. An update planned for later this year enhances pairing functionality. Stay tuned for more details. This something that you're looking forward to?
No, I don't.
You don't care?
Nah, not this, because I don't really. If I'm using I only use my DualSense on or on PC, and I plug it into the. So I don't really see this as necessarily a need for me personally. It's cool that this type of feature is being added, but I don't really. For me, I don't see a need for this. For me personally.
I like it because the fact that the more games I play on PC, the more I'm using my DualSense. So if that can easily be paired rather than the whole plug it in, I know you can pair it, but if they can connect that with Steam, with a lot of those games being paired for PlayStation, or even with your iPad or your phone, make that much easier. Getting this new iPad, I don't know if I would try playing a game with an iPad with a DualSense. We'll probably try it out and let y'all know. But if that pairing process can be easier, and then that can be hooked up to multiple devices, so if I press that button, I'm connected right away rather than plug in the old school way. Plug in, I update, plug in. You know what I mean? If it's easier and quicker, I'm for it. But I would love to see an update much more than just a DualSense update from PlayStation. Respectfully. You know what I mean? Just a quick little news here. Next up, we got to talk about this Persona, man. And then we got a whole bunch of quick little news before the topic that we're going to talk about.
Mm.
So, PlayStation, record-breaking profits, revenue, bigger expansive worlds. Ben Studio got caught with some layoffs. Ben Studio is laying off roughly 30% of his team, around 40 people, following the cancellation of its live service game. The studio is spinning up a new project. And unfortunately, somebody that's a friend of this show, somebody that's a friend of ours that worked for Ben Studios, got let go as well within this layoff round. What's your thoughts on this, Persona?
Like I said to them, man, they so talented. Why you get rid of them, man? Bullshit,
Yeah, it's
better.
It's marketing. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I agree with your tweet, man. I was like, yeah, talented people you don't want to lose talent. You know what I mean?
Miss me with that. I don't want to hear that. But it sucks, and yeah, somebody that really cool. It was on the show too. It sucks that they also lost their job, which I it just I hate seeing that stuff happen. But I do hope that the people that did lose their job land on their feet. But this is the blowback from diving deep headfirst into that live service, man. Once the cancellation of the game happened, I knew that some type of layoff was going to happen for Ben. I'm just glad that Ben isn't being shut down, and they're being allowed to make a new product. So, we'll see.
Yep.
Time to get back to the drawing board and do that Days Gone 2. Stop bullshit.
I mean, you might as well. You continue when you came out with Days Gone remastered, but not doing, a following sequel to Days Gone.
Yeah,
it's kind of
crazy.
It's kind of wild of me. You know
Crazy.
what I mean? Well, rumor has it, Persona. Rumor has it, Halo is coming to PlayStation. I know. In this day and age, a rumor like this is like, oh no shit, Sherlock. You know what I mean? No dog, Jay Bari, no dog, Persona. But still got to bring it up there because now we're seeing Gears, Forza, and just waiting for that one tempo title, Halo, coming to PlayStation. But it not only is this a rumor, it has been data mined. So they saw it within the PlayStation Store that Halo is coming very, very soon. Sona.
I mean, I don't know why. I know why you're bringing in this, but bringing this in to talk about it. But I don't understand why people are making articles like this is breaking news. Like,
Hey,
I don't know what more you people need to see. Like, yeah, it's coming. Like, is anybody gonna say, well, no, it's not? It's a lot. Yeah. So I mean, and honestly, I can't wait. Definitely gonna be playing the Halo online. That's gonna be great. Gonna have a lot of fun with that. I love the Halo franchise, so I'll definitely be picking that up on PlayStation day one. But this isn't news, and this isn't really surprising. So
you gotta squeeze out that the rest of that juice out of that lemon, man.
yeah.
You know what I mean? All the rumors as far as like Xbox games coming. Hey, you gotta type them things up quick. You know what I mean? Make sure next week I see Perfect Dark coming to coming to PlayStation. You know what I mean? But yeah, just wanted to put that in there. Also, some big congratulations need to be said here. Street Fighter 5 million sold worldwide, which is huge. I just want to bring something up here. Let me send this to myself. But go ahead. How you feel about Street Fighter 5 selling 5 million?
I think it's well deserved. Shout out to PlayStation. I mean, shout out to PlayStation and everybody else that went out and bought the game. And this is definitely well deserved for sure. Shout out to Capcom. Very happy to see the success of Street Fighter 6, especially with it first just announced season 3 and all those characters. So this is a good time. It's a good vibe. I'm happy. I'm happy for them.
This is crazy, right? So this is as of 2024, September 30th. Because I've seen a lot of people talking about Street Fighter 5 and how that was like a flop and whatnot. But Street Fighter 5, I think Street Fighter 5 beat out all the other Street Fighter games, sales-wise. You know what I mean? And if you just bought one version of Street Fighter 5, you have all the versions because you have a free update. Street Fighter 2 have multiple versions of the game.
Street Fighter 6. Sorry.
Yeah. You know what I mean? This was last year's stuff where Street Fighter 6 was like at 4.1 million. But what I'm trying to convey here is that Street Fighter 2 is on multiple platforms, but it had multiple versions of the game. As you can see, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, you know what I mean? Combined with that, it's going to beat out Street Fighter 5. But as an individual game, Street Fighter 5 is the best-selling game. But it's cool to see Street Fighter 6 at 5 million because I'm pretty sure it's going to surpass 5 and 2 individual sales in its lifetime. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to put that out there just for the people that be sitting on Street Fighter 5 because, PlayStation helped fund the game and it wasn't on other platforms and things like that. Like, nah, it sold well for a Street Fighter game. It surpassed a lot. You know what I mean? All right. Also, one of my favorite franchises, Devil May Cry, has Devil May Cry 5 has sold over 10 million copies sold worldwide. So I'm a big fan of Devil May Cry 5. I don't have the platinum for this game, which is irking me because I want to go back and do those modes, but I don't know if I have the time to do all those modes because I know it's going to be a lot of trial and error, a lot of dying, a lot of stuff like that. And it's been a while since I played Devil May Cry, and I still need to get my combos on point, even though my combos was on point when I was playing the game. But it's been a while. But I'm very, very happy to see because this is one of my games that I'm looking forward to as far as a sequel. When it pertains to Capcom games, that I'm looking forward to that Devil May Cry 6, man. I'm waiting for that announcement. So when that announcement comes, GG's. Well, how you feel about Devil May Cry selling 10 million units sold?
Yeah, congrats to them. It's a good vibe, man. Happy to see Devil May Cry get that support. It's well deserved.
All right, so we're going to talk about Patch Note City Persona. One of them is a video, and the other one, they're talking about it as far as like making the game easier. So Claire Obscure, Expedition 33, they're getting a patch update, or they should have a patch update for the game right now. I know it's on PC and the consoles are coming later, where they're gonna make the difficulty. They're adjusting the difficulty of that game. So they're looking to rebalance the RPG story mode difficulty. Yes, you heard that right. Story mode difficulty. While also adding player damage and health modifiers for more experienced expeditioners. So while they're making it easier, you can crank the difficulty up as well. And also with Lies of P, a lot of people's complain about Lies of P Overture, where they're saying the game is too difficult. Even though they have an easy mode in the game now, they're saying the game is too difficult. So the director of Lies of P,
런칭을 했습니다.
which I play the video here, he's saying that there's going to be a patch update coming soon where they're going to be addressing the difficulty and modifying certain aspects of the game to make it a little bit more easier for people to play.
Jesus Christ.
Sona, I was already long-winded last week. What's your thoughts?
I mean, it's nothing much to keep saying. It's crazy that these things keep happening. Where it's just like, yo, like, and it goes back to what hip hop was saying earlier. That's why they keep putting these accessibility and all this stuff to keep people playing longer and all this. So for the money. So we know why it's being done, but it's just damn, bro. Like damn, like nobody wanna persevere, man. It's a fucking Souls game, man. Anyway, never mind.
I will say this though, Lies of P Overture, it is hard. It is a hard joint. Yo, I don't know, maybe because I'm on like New Game Plus 4 of that joint, but yeah, enemies, they hit hard, bro. I'm at a boss fight right now, bro. If I take 2 hits, bro, I'm just like, yeah, I'm done. So every time I get a hit, I gotta heal up a little bit. You know what I mean? Because and the block damage that you get within the DLC is kind of crazy as well. But they did add other things where you can help mitigate that, but they're still doing a lot of like block damage where you can just die. If you block too much and it's not a perfect block, oh, you're dead. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But the last bit of news before we get up out of here, Persona, and get into the topic. GameStop. Yes, GameStop is going to be they're going to be moving away from selling video games and they're going to be pivoting to trading cards. Hey, you got to adjust. Your thoughts? This is an old ass pick, by the way. You got PlayStation 4.
I don't really shop at GameStop too much these days. I mostly am all digital anyway, so and if I'm buying a console, I would much rather. I mean, I bought some stuff from GameStop, so I'm not gonna say I don't not shop there 100%, but I would buy like Best Buy or Target or Amazon or something like that. But them pivoting from GameStop, I mean from games to trading cards, I was just like, damn, bro, like nowhere is safe. We're like just minimizing a lot of that, and I get it because that Pokemon trading card stuff, that stuff, and I don't really see the hype. I don't really see the hype with that shit either. I'm gonna be honest, but yeah, people go crazy for that stuff. I see people fighting and buying like 15 boxes at a time so nobody else can get and all this crazy stuff. I'm just like, listen, man.
People doing fake ass reactions to cards that they pull. I saw this girl streamer. She was talking about if I pulled this specific, it was like I forgot what Pokemon it was, but she said the name of it. If I pull this card, I'm gonna lose my shit, and it was the last card. Like, how you know what card you're gonna pull, and the last card, and it's just like, oh my god. Like, come on. Well,
everybody's using like the holographics of like certain cards and certain this. And I'm just like, yo, listen, I legitimately and I was into Pokemon trading cards like back when I was a kid, and I had like the binder full of like different cards and I had the holographics and all that. But now, nah, I'm good. I'm good on this. And like people fighting over that and all that, I'm good.
The card game is definitely coming up. Yu-Gi-Oh still going strong.
They're not doing it. People not buying these trading cards to trade or to do the actual battles.
Yeah.
They collecting this shit.
Yo, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Magic the Gathering. I don't know how to play Magic. Yo, I haven't played Magic since I probably was in junior high school, bro. And I'm 40 years old. Junior high school was like the last time I had a friend started to play Magic. I don't know how the hell Magic even played now. But I got the Final Fantasy Magic cards. they come in one day. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to be collectible. I might see like I want to do research as far as like a popular or like a rare pull or something like that, and see if I can probably do it live or do a video on that. But you know what I mean? Maybe I'll learn to play Magic in this day and age. I don't know. We'll see. But
you're not.
I've been watching videos. Not gonna lie, I've been watching videos. As far as like the structure and what you need to do and things like that. I definitely been watching a lot of videos, and a part of me watching those videos, that's why them Pokemon videos popping up. Cause it's like, oh, you watching cards? Oh, look at this person pulled. Yep. You know what I mean? So they definitely hitting my algorithm for sure. Well, all right, y'all. If you made it this far, here are your trophies once again. Bless up with the trophies, man. You know what I mean? These are bronze and silvers. Got some golds in there. And yo, big shout out to HipHopGamer coming through once again, man. Always a pleasure having him on. Always a pleasure talking games with hip hop. So, you know, we got to bless him up with his own individual trophies. Your Persona, man, you look like a little tight over there, man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, I am.
Yo, but before we get up here, Persona, man, just got a quick question to talk to you about. You know how we do things here on WUPS. When we come to the end of the show, we just have like a little topic, a little question. It could be, you know, about the industry, a game, you know, social media, anything. So I got a question as far as when it pertains to gaming conversations. How do you feel about today's gaming conversations? You know, the podcast, the social media interactions. You know, how do you feel about gaming podcasts in general? And I saw Jack Moon put up a tweet as well, saying that he hasn't been really listening to like gaming podcasts that much like that. It's not like how it was back in the day. Overall, how are you feeling about gaming podcasts, social media interactions? That's the gaming conversation in its totality in this day and age that we live in.
Yeah, you know, that's a great question. And I did see Jack Move's tweet as well. And I have to agree 100% with Jack Move. I think a lot of gaming content today is absolute shit. Because it's not really surrounded around talking about video games, having great conversation. Like you see like earlier, you see how like even like with hip hop, we was just having a great conversation about the business, you know, gaming and, you know, the future of gaming and what we think and what may happen and what this could be and whatever. And even in the disagreements, still was respectful, and it, you know, there was still value to be added to the conversation. A lot of gaming podcasts today, they're really, when I listen, and honestly, I can't really listen to much. I truly can't watch gaming content. Even like there's a lot of game content I just can't watch, man. Because one, I don't have time anymore. Two, I really don't give a shit what you have to say, think, or what. I truly don't give a shit. But even with the podcasts and conversations that are had, it's just a lot of just bullshit of just yapping about shit you really don't know about. And you ain't talking about games and very surface level conversations, and it's just like, oh my god, bro, like who the fuck wants to hear that shit, man? Like I can't sit through that. So for me, I think the conversation around gaming is just so far removed from actually being about the conversation of gaming. It's about if it's DEI, if it's a woman, if the woman's attractive, if her ass is fat, if her titties is big, if it's who made the game, who is this, why this, and oh, why is this game like this, and why does it cost this? It's just all this dumb shit that I truly don't care. Like, we're not talking about the game itself. We're not talking about the story, the music, the world, the characters, the dialogue, the combat. Like, there is none of those conversations being had. I really don't care. I just don't. So like the conversation around gaming to discussions today is just absolute shit. It's garbage. I don't this is why I don't partake in most of it either. I put my thoughts out there and I keep it moving because really I really don't care to engage or the back and forth. I don't care, and I care not to respond to most people as well because there is no point. It's about grifting. It's about just getting clicks for grift farming, engagement farming. Saying the most outlandish things just to get likes and retweets, and then you got the incels doing what they do and all this. It's just all this. It's so muddied and so bad that it's just like I'm good. I can't consume none of this content, man. And then when it comes to like social media interactions, I mean, my God, you can tell somebody to buy a fucking game and suddenly you're the problem. suddenly you're
how dare you
evil person that's a PlayStation console war fanboy that just perpetuates negativity and toxicity because you told somebody to support a game. Who wants to interact with that?
How
Who
dare
wants to
you
engage in that? Who wants to be around that? I sure as hell don't. So yeah,
Persona.
that's what gaming conversations are. Telling somebody to buy a game, trying to listen to a podcast, and people not knowing shit about the games they talk about, not knowing about this, and there's no passion in it. It's just a lot of fluff and just BS being talked about. There's no passion. There's no passion in the conversations being had either. It just feels like people are just there because they bored and have nothing to talk about, nothing to do. There is no passion behind the conversations being had. That's both on podcasts and in these Twitter interactions. There's no passion. You're sharing your experiences. There's no passion behind the conversation because nobody wants to talk about the actual experience of the games because a lot of people don't have experience in the games that
they're not playing it.
And the ones that do have experience, no one wants to hear them because their truth is more boring than the lie that's being perpetuated.
That is exactly where I was going to lean towards, is the passion, the enthusiasm. I feel like with a lot of like podcasts, overall social media, I feel like it's diminishing where a lot of people are just jaded. And I feel like more so people are doing it because it's just like, I can get some monetary gain from it. You know what I mean? I've committed to something, doing this, doing that. Not to say that I have my go-to podcasts that I listen to, and over episode 200, we're going to list out those podcasts that we listen to and, we do support. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's weekly podcasts that no matter what it is, I'm going to be listening to it because I know those people gain. I'm not talking about those podcasts, but looking back from 2015 to now 2025, there was a lot of more podcasts that I would engage in and seek out to hear their opinions. Now I don't really do that because there's no real passion in it. I mean, people be saying stuff and then there's, people don't even know about games that's coming out. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, how you don't know about this game coming out? Like, game had been.
But you always on social media all day. You always
you know what I mean?
You in 4 podcasts a week, but don't know shit about the games that's coming out.
Don't know the game that's coming out.
Like, where do we do? Where do you do that at? Like, where is that accepted? If it and this is why gaming. I love video games, but this is why you have to really limit your interactions with who you have to be very selective of who you interact with in gaming because comic books, movies, manga, anime, cartoon, any other fandom. It's not this, man. It's only video. It's only video games where you see this dumb shit. It's only video games when you see this dumb shit, and it's like, my God! And it's only online because I promise you, when you talk to people in real life, they're not like this.
Yeah,
when you talk to people in real life, and this is from. I'm sorry, bro. I'll shut up after this. This is from years of like going to conventions and because like PAX and all that stuff. I've been doing that stuff for years. PlayStation experiences, Comic-Cons, talking to developers. And when you talk to people in real life, it's not like this, yo. And sometimes you forget, especially if you don't go to cons or around those people in real life for a while, you kind of forget because you then are online or, you're. But when you come back and you see that shit and you're like, damn, yeah, man, this is what it is about. Evo, right? Evo, when we went to Evo last year, ton of great people that just love fighting games, man. They weren't the best in the world, but everybody was there enjoying the
Passion.
experience of fighting games, enjoying the experience of being around every like-minded gamers. There wasn't this console war of Xbox versus PlayStation versus Switch versus PC versus this and that and DEI and why is she this, and it was none of that. It was just enjoying the games, waiting to play new games that's coming out soon, talking with the developers, talking with different people. Like, it was just fun meeting people that you've met online in person and interacting with them and having it was just fun, man. It was fun. Cracking jokes. It was just fun. All this other stupid shit, it's terrible. Like, it really is shitty. It's terrible.
Yeah, like I just feel like the passion is gone from a lot of people when it comes to podcasting or just even gaming talk. The experience is not there. You know what I mean? You have conversations about or topics of games that, you know, people ain't able to play. You know, and like I said, it's just more for a monetary gain. That is it. Gaming, you can profit so much from gaming by having a right title in your podcast or video or a right tagline within your tweets, rather than playing the game and then having that creative tagline or topic or whatnot. Gaming is not the priority in the gaming community. The conversation is, you know what I mean? The conversation about what this person thinks and what this person is doing and how this person is playing. People
or I'm sorry to cut you off again, but you just rekindle another thing. Even with it, the conversation not being about gaming, the conversation gets very personal and very disrespectful. And
yo, listen, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Go ahead, man.
A lot of the people that are very personal and they take it outside of gaming, they will try to degrade your name, call you names, talk about your looks, how you speak. Where do you never see those people?
I don't see them outside.
Exactly. There's a reason. You know what I mean? Because in person, you're not saying none of that shit. I promise you. Persona will tell you, my man Lemon, 108 Dragons, HipHopGamer, King David, anybody that has met me in person as far as the, you know, gaming conventions, Chuck, you know what I mean, when it comes to going to Evo or whatnot, DC, who you see present to you here is how I am. You know what I mean? I like to be, you know, vibrant, I like to, you know, chill, whatnot. But I promise you, you're not going to disrespect me in my face. You'll get your jaw ciphered right there instantly. There's people that we have met that we had issues with or they had disagreements with us and whatnot. Chopped it up. Simple conversations. The craziest people that say the craziest shit on here, you will never catch them at no convention, no show, no event, nothing. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. They got to stay within their bubble or what it is. All the conversations on Twitter, how these people be talking crazy DMs from these people. They would never do that stuff in person. Never. You know what I mean? I'm not scared to go out and go to a gaming event and go in person to talk to somebody. I'm not scared to do that at all because I know my actions is not out there crazy where I'm personally talking about somebody. If I go personal with somebody, they definitely been going personal way long. Because majority of the shit that I see, I ignore. And then it hits that point like, yo, what is this person talking about? Then you got to talk about that person. Like, yo, what the hell are you doing? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And just because this is the internet doesn't mean you can't get touched. It's very easy to find somebody, man. That's putting it out there. But yeah, man, you never catch these people outside, man. But yeah, I agree. I always was very baffled as far as people can disagree with somebody, not like they takes, but how quick they're so quick to go personal just because they don't like somebody take or their gaming habits or whatnot. I find that baffling. And I've been in this community a very long time. There's people that will tell you I was always against people going personal in the gaming community. I've made videos about it with Xbox people, matter of fact. Remember Bella Rise? We made a whole video. And these was majority Xbox people. That quote unquote, oh, Jay Bari hates. There's a lot of Xbox gamers that I'm cool with. You know why I'm cool with them? Because I can have a disagreement with them. I can bash, I can make my jokes about Xbox, but I never go personal. I don't like these people.
And these dudes be talking, yo, they be talking, yo.
Craziness, bro.
Crazy, bro.
Some of the comments I see, some of the comments I see on your joint, on my joint, I'll be like, yo, who is this person? Like, you think you can talk to somebody like that? And I get it. It's social media. I get it. So that's why majority of it is ignored. But you would never catch them posting a picture or even showing their picture online, posting a picture of the gaming event. Some of these people, you would never even catch them on a podcast. They don't want to be heard. You know what I'm saying? They would never put their face on camera. They would never put up a selfie. You know what I'm saying? They will never do this. And put it on internet. Sit your ass down. You know what I'm saying? My bad, yo. But anything else you gotta say before we close out, man? Because you was on a rampage.
Yeah, I'll end it with this. On our exit, 2 more episodes after this, guys, and then we, I'm fading to black. You understand? 2 more episodes, and then we out of here. But I will say this: for those that want to still get into gaming content creation, still care about gaming and all that stuff, and want to keep those conversations going, because there are people that truly do love those conversations and appreciate those conversations. Try to block out the noise and all that stuff. I do think that there still is a place for gaming, like true, genuine video game discussion, video game talks, even the gaming business talk and all that stuff. That stuff is fun to talk about as well. But, just make sure your passion is there, man. Make sure that passion is there, and make sure that, you just remain true to who you are. Don't, just because somebody else is doing something that's more popular than what you're doing, or that you're seeing their numbers, look at their content, and you can always see when it's not true passion, and it's a grift, or it's just something that's being done for money. It's not really something they love to do. Just do what you love, man. And if you love to make video game content, live streaming video games and shit like that, yo, do that, man.
Yes, sir. Yo, I'm posting a link. Cause Porter Rocky's about to go live, and he got Dot Dark going to be on there. That's going to be a very entertaining show. So if y'all want to go on, definitely go on through that and check it out. I saw Jay Bari's tweet. A lot of weird dudes. Yo, bro, there's times where I will go into my message request and I'll see the stuff. I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
Yo,
like,
in the message request, these people be sending me some yo. I just be like, bro, I don't even know you, bro.
I go to the profile and I'll see like who are they following. I'm like, oh, I'm not surprised. Like, I'm not surprised where this person come from. Like,
that shit is crazy though.
This is the hate and vitriol that they put out for somebody that has a different opinion about them about video game. They're not even gaming on the platform. You know what I'm saying? But yo, before we close out of here, once again, for episode 200, if you want to participate within this episode, we have like a post here on the page where you can check out, or you can ask a question that will be asked here. We're going to answer it here on the episode 200. Or if you just want to join the Discord, we're going to have the waiting room for WUPS up, and one by one we'll pull you in to this chat. We'll just have a conversation, or if you want to have a question or anything you want to say, you can do so if you want to do that for episode 200. Also, before we head out of here, make sure y'all check out Plus on Block podcast, the Plus on Block boys. You know what I mean? They'll go live every Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time, where there's a podcast that they're passionate about fighting games, that they talk about fighting games, give their opinions, break down stuff, talk about updates, talk about new games coming up. You know what I mean? If you're looking for some people that are passionate about what they like and what they like to play, definitely check out Plus Unblocked Podcast. It is on the homepage of our channel. But yo, Persona,
Yeah.
here's the platinum trophies for everybody. Here is the PS4 version. Persona, hit us with your outro, man. Let the people know what's going on with you. I know you're going to be playing some Gears of War. Are you going to be streaming that? Or are you going to be putting out a video as far as your opinions?
Probably no on the video, but I'll probably stream. I'll probably stream it. I got a real bad headache, guys. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really get sleep, so I got a bad headache, and your boy's definitely starving. So I'm definitely gonna.
I blame Kendra. You see, you see what I'm saying?
I blame Kendra. I blame Wolf. I blame DC. I blame Nell.
Kendra right now is tucked in her bed sleeping. Persona stayed up late for you. And I don't see not one chat I don't see one Kendra on this chat. Huh? So Persona gonna lose. Persona's supposed to lose sleep for Kendra, but Kendra don't lose sleep for Persona. Kendra, listen, yo, I'm gonna text you and I'm gonna curse you out, Kendra. Okay.
Nah, it was fun as hell chopping it up with all of them last night, man. I had a lot of fun chopping up. Cause we all haven't really talked. Good to chop it up with them on last night.
It has been a long time. I would have joined, but I had too much to do in the morning.
Yeah. But yo, listen, guys. I'm gonna take a nap. I'm gonna eat, and then later on tonight, I'm most likely gonna stream some Gears. So we'll definitely play some Gears. Hopefully the service is working. But yeah, that's really the only content coming from me. I in July, I think I'm probably gonna do a live reaction. Let me not say that. Let me talk to Bari. We'll talk. But yeah, on that, yeah, appreciate y'all coming through. Episode 198 of What's Up PlayStation Podcast. 2 more episodes left. Chat. 2 more episodes.
Sir, yes, sir. Like I said, make sure y'all check out Plus Unblocked Podcast. Their channel is on the homepage. Which the channel is still going to be up for anybody that want to check out prior episodes and prior live streams or whatnot. Yo, big shout out to everyone coming through and checking out our Marvel Tokon reaction. Yo, this video is at 5.5k views.
Wow.
Which is kind of shocking. You know what I mean? That's uploaded it. It was like, all right, let me snip this part from the live stream. Let's upload it. And yeah, people came through to watch that.
Oh, yo, and also big shout out to HipHopGamer. Listen, it's really an honor to sit down and talk with him. He always dropping knowledge and he's very passionate things that he speaks about. So it was great to have Hip Hop on again as we close out our show here on WUPS. And big shout out to Hip Hop, man. Make sure you guys support HipHopGamer, support everything that he does, man. He's out here doing his thing in the industry. So definitely support him. So thank you, Hip Hop, for coming through to the show, episode 198. And many blessings to you, bro. Real talk.
Yeah, 100%, man. Big shout out to HipHopGame for coming through. Once again, you know what I mean? He said, hit me up. We hit him up, send the email out. And he said, yo, he's there. He's coming through, man. So big shout out to Hip Hop. It was a pleasure meeting you. It's a pleasure having you on here as well. And yeah, with that being said, episode 198 is in the books, Persona, and we're going to close out with...
And always remember, guys, What's Up PlayStation Podcast is a podcast for the community, by the community. And we'll see you guys next Saturday, same time, same place, same crew, the WUPS crew. You guys have a great weekend. Be safe. Peace.
Later, y'all. Enjoy y'all Saturday.